This young man had just woken up to find an egg floating in front of him. Xiaoloon just figured he'd stayed up all night, grinding free fire for over 180 minutes, and was hallucinating. But even with other people, he could also see eggs above their heads. The only difference was that their eggs were white, while Xiaoloon's was black. Furthermore, there was a series of numbers on the egg, like a countdown. This is trippy. What if I accidentally got one of those one-time use toys from some Islamic bros? Then I'd be totally toast. In class, his buddy Li Yan suddenly invited Xiaoloon to hang out tonight. Word was that an upperclassman, Yao Tien, had found an egg, a supergiant one, and wanted to invite the bros to check it out. Thinking this might be related to the black egg above his head, Xiaoloon agreed to go. At 7 p.m. sharp, everyone had gathered at West City Park. The young man with the center part hairstyle was named Yao Tien, and he was the one who had invited them here. However, Xiaoloon suddenly noticed that in the group, this dude was the only one without an egg over his head. Very quickly, the group approached the wall. The wall had existed ever since Xiaoloon was born, and it surrounded the entire world. Legend had it that if anyone could successfully cross the wall, they would reach the outside world. Once they arrived, the group started, urging Yao Tien to quickly bring out the big egg for everyone to see. But he didn't answer, only flashing a sinister smile. The very next second, a red egg emerged from his head. Witnessing the horrifying scene, the whole group freaked out and dipped immediately. But before Xiaoloon could get far, from behind Yao Tien, two demonic hands instantly sprouted and grabbed him tightly. At this moment, the red egg on his head had transformed into a monster. It opened its mouth wide, intending to devour the black egg, but his egg was something else, totally next level. The black egg quickly used a stealth technique, causing the red egg to be completely bamboozled by an illusion. Right after that, from the sides of the black egg, a pair of sharp wings suddenly sprouted. With just a few basic moves, the red egg was instantly wiped out. Along with it, Yao Tien's body collapsed. It seemed that if the egg was crushed, the person was done for too. While Xiaoloon was lost in thought, not noticing what was behind him, a seed slowly grew from the fragments of the red egg. When the seed fell to the ground, a parasite broke out of the shell. It stealthily crawled towards Yao Tien's corpse, and quickly burrowed straight into his leg. Yao Tien's motionless body suddenly began to convulse violently. Then, to Xiaoloon's utterly disbelieving and shocked eyes, the corpse stood up and stared at him with eyes full of hatred. Xiaoloon felt a chill run down his spine, and he broke out in a cold sweat. He suddenly realized that after coming back to life, there was now a hole in Yao Tien's chest, which looked like a keyhole. Looking up, he saw that the black egg had started its countdown. He forced a smile, so shocked he felt like he was about to fade away. There wasn't much time left to begin with, and he really just wanted to give up and lie down. At that moment, dark clouds gathered in the sky. Yao Tien, enveloped in a red aura, advanced. Your egg is pitch black, unlike ours. It must be an anomaly. Xiaoloon backed away step by step. He was confused. Anomaly? What anomaly? Can't you say something I can understand? Yao Tien's face darkened. He tilted his head and spoke slowly. Human, you must have realized that those around you are all white eggs, haven't you? They are food. And I, a red egg, am a red egg soldier. And you, the black egg, are the anomaly. Xiaoloon looked at the black egg above, then at Yao Tien in front of him. In a flash, he became bewildered. Red egg soldier. Anomaly. My head is spinning. I don't even know why it's black. His skin suddenly turned pale. Yao Tien bared his teeth and snarled. Anomalies can be captured or hunted down, but I prefer to hunt. As soon as he finished speaking, he leaped from his spot. Seeing this, Xiaoloon was momentarily startled. In the blink of an eye, at an unbelievable speed, Yao Tien dashed right in front of him. His hands grew sharp claws. Yao Tien swung his arm down forcefully. Caught off guard, Xiaoloon was slashed by those sharp claws, drawing blood. He then lost his balance and fell to the ground. Coming to his senses, Xiaoloon looked up at the black egg above in utter shock. Why, black egg? He stammered. Aren't you gonna help? Weren't you super powerful just a moment ago? Seeing his opponent frozen, Yao Tien retracted his hand and laughed mockingly. Oh, so you were counting on that thing? That's not going to happen. Xiaoloon turned his head to look at him, as if not believing what he had just heard. Yao Tien grinned, revealing two fangs. He continued, when we are still in our independent egg forms, we cannot attack humans, unless... As he said this, as if triggered by something, Yao Tien charged forward again. We fuse with a human. Seeing the figure rushing towards him, Xiaoloon quickly leaned and jumped to the side. The ground where the claws struck emitted a white gas. Yao Tien looked up, glaring at Xiaoloon ahead. While he was distracted, Xiaoloon bolted. What is all this? There's no way I'm fusing with an egg and turning into something that terrifying. But just a second later, with a single leap, Yao Tien appeared behind him. He then kicked Xiaoloon hard in the back. Caught off guard, he was kicked and fell flat on his face. Yao Tien launched himself off the ground again. He quickly pinned Xiaoloon's sides with his feet before he could get up. His face had started to turn pale. Yao Tien grinned, his long claws raised. Let me smash your head, shall I? Cold sweat trickled down his cheek. Xiaoloon turned his head in fear. I'm about to die! At that moment, a blurry vortex suddenly appeared in front of the two. Yao Tien froze, his whole body stiffening. Strange. This is strange. Why can't I suddenly move? Xiaoloon seemed to have noticed too. He was startled. At this point, Yao Tien's eyes gradually became vacant. Seizing the opportunity, Xiaoloon shot up, knocking him away. He couldn't help but wonder, what is this guy trying to do? The vortex from the black egg slowly dissipated. Xiaoloon stopped being curious and just ran for it. Whatever, run first, think later. He dashed past the barren tree branches. Xiaoloon just kept running without looking back. After a while, he started to notice his surroundings. Weird. I've been running for over half an hour. Why haven't I gotten out of this radiation zone yet? Could I be lost? On a tree branch, something was nimbly jumping around below. Xiaoloon was still focused on running. Damn it. I wonder if that guy is still chasing me. I'm about to run out of steam. At that moment, someone was sitting on a tree branch, looking down at him. And Guji in the air couldn't hide his excitement. Master, that thing is pitch black, and it even stopped the soldier egg's time. It must be the world-destroying egg. Nam kept his eyes fixed on him, and replied, Don't jump to conclusions. Keep observing. After a while, the forest became completely silent. Xiaoloon escaped the forest, and ran straight to a cave. Great. There's a cave ahead. I'll hide in there first and figure things out. Stepping inside, he leaned against the rock wall, panting. I'm exhausted. Looking at the black egg in the air, Xiaoloon couldn't help but wonder. Oh right, that guy couldn't move earlier. Was that you helping me? The timer now showed only a few minutes left. Xiaoloon was startled. Wait, this timer. He looked up, eyes wide and mouth agape in shock. Why are there only 3 minutes left? No way. There was definitely more time before. Watching the time decrease, Xiaoloon quickly thought, this is bad. If it explodes like a bomb, staying here means certain death, right? He clung to the rock wall and followed it to turn and step out, telling himself, I have to get out of here quickly. Is it because I'm panicking too much? Why does my whole body feel so weak? But as soon as he turned, Xiaoloon slumped down, resolved. Forget it. Death is death, no matter where it happens. He hung his head low. The countdown had now reached 20 seconds. Taking a deep breath, Xiaoloon shot his head up and yelled, This is so annoying! Bring it on if you're coming. Though he said that, he couldn't hide his anxiety, and swallowed nervously. As he watched the time tick down from 4 to 1 second, Xiaoloon's eyes were fixed on the black egg. Just then, the number on it flashed and turned to 0. Xiaoloon covered his face and turned away, screaming in fear. I don't want to die yet! Why is there no sound? He peeked curiously through his fingers. He saw the black egg's wings fold in. Something seemed to appear inside. Streaks of black lightning spread out. Xiaoloon blankly lowered his hands. A series of black light rays shot into the air. From within the black egg, a key appeared. Seeing it, Xiaoloon couldn't help but gasp. What? Is this a key? Then, the black egg flew lower, bringing the key in front of him. The body of the key was pointed forward. Xiaoloon was still in disbelief. Is it telling me to take it? Thinking this, he cautiously reached out and took it. A small sound was heard. Xiaoloon had pulled the key from the egg's body. At that moment, the numbers displaying the time on the egg began to move. Xiaoloon watched intently, momentarily surprised. He saw on the black egg's body that the clock had been reset to a full 24 hours. What's going on? Why did the time reset? At the same time, someone was approaching the cave entrance. This person was humming a tune as they walked. Yao Tien's face was grim, yet his mouth was fixed in a stiff smile. He continued to sing as he approached the distant cave entrance. Nam and Anji were observing everything. Seeing this, Anji asked, This soldier egg is really bold. He went inside. Should we follow? Nam immediately gave the order. Follow, but under no circumstances. Let them discover our presence. Inside the cave, it was completely silent. Xiaoloon was still dazedly asking himself, What on earth is happening? Why did it reset again? He didn't notice that Yao Tien had entered the cave. His eyes were wide, his mouth curved into a slight, appreciative smile. Hearing this sound, Xiaoloon jumped. He turned around trembling. You've got to be kidding me. Why are you here? Yao Tien slowly stepped out, licking the little bit of blood left on his claw. Your blood smells delicious. Xiaoloon sighed internally with frustration. Things are complicated enough already, and now this guy has to butt in. Is he really not going to be satisfied until he kills me? At this thought, his eyes suddenly sparkled. With a pitiful expression, he looked at the black egg and pleaded, Black egg, please keep helping me. If you help me get out of this situation, I'll do my best to give you whatever you want. But at that moment, the black egg remained silent, completely still. With a sudden swoosh, the whole black egg spun around in midair. One of its wings pointed towards the key in Xiaoloon's hand. The other wing pointed to the black hole in Yao Tien's chest, who was now speaking in disbelief. Huh? You're in egg form, and you want to attack me, someone who has fused with a human? With that, he impatiently swung his claws, slashing a line through the air. You're daydreaming. Xiaoloon's eyes widened, completely unresponsive. He thought to himself, Black egg. You want me to stick this key into the keyhole, on his chest, right? Only then did the black egg nod. Xiaoloon gripped the key tightly in his hand. Okay, I get it. Seeing him turn to look at Yao Tien, he taunted him again. In your hand? Since when did you have such a big key? Are you planning on using that cheap toy to attack me? But on the contrary, what Xiaoloon was focused on was the keyhole on his chest. He then took a running start and dashed forward. Yao Tien closed his eyes and exhaled. He said loudly, Ridiculous. The moment Xiaoloon thrust the key forward, Yao Tien leaned to the side and easily dodged it. He then swung his leg up, and with one kick, sent Xiaoloon flying into the rock wall, not far away. He winced in pain, feeling a bit troubled. This guy's movements are too fast. It's hard to get close. Yao Tien gloated, spreading his arms wide. He walked closer with a smile. I can't believe a human like you is so stupid. Using this slow thing to attack me. How could you possibly hurt me? Even a little. Xiaoloon pressed his lips together, a spark of determination reigniting in his eyes. It seems he really hasn't noticed the keyhole on his own body. Then I still have a chance. With that thought, he gently placed the key in his hand down. Xiaoloon pushed himself up. He loudly provoked his opponent. This piece of junk weapon is useless. My fists are still more satisfying to use. Come on, you worthless soldier. These words seemed to have provoked Yao Tien. Huh? Worthless? The moment he finished speaking, he lunged forward and grabbed Xiaolun by the throat. Who are you calling worthless? He then clawed at his face. In that instant, Xiaolun gripped the key tightly and yelled out again, Black egg. Throw a rock at him. Hearing this, Yao Tien was startled and turned his head to look. Xiaolun, holding the key, plunged it straight into the hole in his chest. Yao Tien felt the movement and glanced down. Behind the rock wall, Nam was hiding and observing, momentarily startled. This is bad. He saw from the keyhole, a stream of blue energy gradually flooding the space. Xiaolun's eyes widened in shock. What is this? Immediately after, the blue light in his eyes, like a drop of water, fell to the ground. Xiaolun's body was uncontrollably sucked in by a powerful force. Waking up with a start, the scene before him had completely changed. Looking around at the giant spheres and a strange, black substance ahead, Xiaolun shouted, What on earth is going on? Just then, Nam appeared from nowhere, grabbed his arm, and whispered a reminder. Idiot, don't be so loud. Quick, hide! Xiaolun turned around in surprise. He instinctively ran after him. The two of them then hid behind a large rock. Fanla approached from a distance, his voice echoing in the space. Tinos, was that a noise just now? Tinos nodded and replied. Noza also heard a very faint noise, like the sound of an insect. Xiaolun's eyes widened in shock as he covered his mouth tightly. Watching the gigantic figures of Fanla and Tinos walk by, he thought in terror. Giants, what's going on? Just like that, the two watched in silence. As the two figures gradually disappeared, only then could Xiaolun lower his hand and let out a breath. That was terrifying. Where in the world am I? Why did I suddenly appear here? With that thought, he looked down at the key in his hand. Wait, it was this key that brought me here, right? Black egg? He looked up and saw the black egg nodding in silent confirmation. Xiaolun's face immediately turned pale. With a helpless expression, he lamented, Oh my god, why can't I just live in peace, like a normal person? Did you really have to drag me to this godforsaken place? Nam, beside him, looked at him with suspicion. Feeling the gaze, Xiaolun composed himself and turned to him with a start. Nam looked at him intently, thinking to himself, this kid can actually space jump to the world of the giants. I remember that person brought me here once too. It's just that my memories from then are very fragmented. He ignored the other person, still lost in thought. But this place feels somewhat familiar. If I'm not mistaken, this is the giants' gathering place. Xiaolun pressed his lips together and finally whispered, Before he could continue, Nam cut him off in a low voice. We'll talk later. Let's get out of here first. Xiaolun quickly agreed, okay. After agreeing, the two quickly left their hiding spot. Nam went first, and Xiaolun carefully followed behind him. As he ran, he took the opportunity to look around. Those big round spheres floating up there, what on earth are they? He saw above them countless pitch-black spheres, with a strange blue light were floating. Xiaolun thought to himself. There are quite a few of them. At one point, Nam raised his hand, signaling to stop. At that moment, a sphere in the air was sucking in streams of condensed energy, and Xiaolun's eyes widened in amazement as he mumbled, Is something about to appear? Nam, beside him, didn't answer and thought to himself, This incubator sphere is about to reproduce. Just a second later, a slime-like substance dripped down from its black hole. A strange shape appeared. The moment that slime touched the ground, hiding behind the rock, Xiaolun couldn't help his curiosity. What is that? Before his eyes, a creature resembling a merman, completely green, crawled out trembling. Xiaolun was startled, his mouth agape. A faceless merman? Nam in front of him also widened his eyes in disbelief. A human-beast hybrid? That makes sense. This place is full of giants now. There's no need to turn humans into giants anymore. Suddenly, a pair of giant eyes appeared behind them, causing the two to freeze. From behind, Tino slowly emerged. His deep voice boomed. Found you. So, it was two little insects playing around in the incubator grounds. Immediately after, it swung its sharp claws towards Xiaolun. Nam reacted in time and quickly pushed his head down. He then launched himself into the air. Just like that, Nam charged straight towards Tinos. His hand radiated a blue power. He raised his hand high. Nam swiftly swiped his hand. The power shot out and struck Tinos' body. He didn't forget to look back and remind the other. Look out for yourself. Xiaolun, having recovered, jumped to his feet. Got it, thanks. Then, taking the opportunity, he turned and ran. As he ran, Xiaolun glanced around and thought, damn it, at a time like this, I can't do anything to help. All I can do is run. Fang Xiaolun, you're really pathetic. Suddenly, someone flicked their fingers. Something shot past Xiaolun at high speed, severely injuring him. Immediately after, Xiaolun's body went limp and collapsed to the ground. The black egg looked up, startled to see Fanla approaching. At that moment, the black egg trembled uncontrollably. In a blur, Xiaolun's body was submerged in water. He was surrounded by spiraling lights. A voice flashed, echoing from his body. Am I dead? This sucks. Is my life really ending just like this? I still haven't found my birth parents. I don't want to die yet. I also really want to be loved by my parents, just like everyone else. So at least let me know who they are, before you take me away. Just then, an egg shot out from his body into the distance. Seeing this, Fanla couldn't help but freeze. His body stiffened, annoyed. He thought, is this damn egg playing tricks? Why is my body not listening to my commands? He saw that the black egg was now continuously transferring energy into Xiaolun's unconscious body. Just a moment later, his body blurred and turned into a cloud of purple smoke. Seeing this, Fanla was momentarily startled. It dissolved? The ground was covered in a thick purple liquid. Suddenly, a small drop flew up. Then, streaks of black liquid were pulled along with it. Gradually, they gathered into a certain shape. In just a moment, a body was slowly formed. The egg had now turned white. It floated above the head of a white-haired person. At this moment, Xiaolun, in his shaman transformation state, was fully awakened. Glancing around, his body immediately radiated a dense aura. Seeing this, Fanla couldn't hide his shock and pulled back his hand. What is this strange aura? This is bad. This insect is extremely dangerous. I must escape quickly. At that moment, Xiaolun was stepping closer to him, one step at a time. Meanwhile, Nam was being pinned to the ground by Tinos' claws. Sensing something, Xiaolun was startled and turned his head to look. He then turned and ran quickly in his direction. He pushed off the ground with great force to leap up. Xiaolun shot forward, delivering a barrage of punches to Tinos' face. Waves of power radiated from his chin. Tienos was hit so fast he couldn't react. At the same time, Nam also jumped up, escaping from its claws. Seeing this, Xiaoloon, filled with aura, kicked Tienos hard in the face. He then spun and retreated. He gathered his strength and leaped forward again. Xiaoloon's figure was incredibly fast. He swung his leg and kicked straight at Tienos. With just one kick, it was sent flying to the ground. At this moment, Nam was still watching Xiaoloon intently. He turned and reached out to help him up. Looking at the hand still radiating with aura in front of him, Nam couldn't help but exclaim, "This constant outpouring of power is terrifying." He then took Xiaoloon's hand to help himself up. "Thanks." At the same time, Tienos in the distance also shifted. 3 spheres appeared above its head. The 3 spheres lit up. From within, blue lightning spread out, connecting them into a triangle. Nam's eyes widened, and his whole body jumped as he yelled, "This is bad! Run!" A powerful stream of energy burst forth. "Damn it, go to hell!" Tienos lowered its head, concentrating all its power forward. Xiaoloon stepped forward and blocked it with one hand. Tienos looked up in disbelief and said, "What?" At this point, Xiaoloon turned back, and a series of incomprehensible sounds came from his mouth. As expected, both Anji and Nam were momentarily confused. Xiaoloon was still blocking that power with one hand. At this moment, the black egg quickly came forward to translate. He swung his stick and said, "One for you, one for me. No one gets shortchanged." Seeing that Nam was still confused, Xiaoloon opened his mouth again, trying to make a sound, as if to say, "Black egg, what's wrong with me?" The black egg explained, "In combat mode, you're muted from making sounds." Xiaoloon cried out again. "Muted? Why?" Behind them, Anji flew back and forth, trying to interpret. Tit for tat, we're even now. Nam watched with wide eyes. "I think it means..." Just then, the black egg reminded him sternly, "Get serious. Unleash your strongest move now." Only then did Xiaoloon realize. He turned back, his eyes focused on what was in front of him. A dense aura radiated from his fingertips. Xiaoloon couldn't help but marvel. "So this is a strong move? It's incredible." The steps to perform the technique just appeared in my head. Watching him execute it skillfully, streaks of lightning enveloped that energy. The black egg beside him cheered. "Yes, this is called Lian Qingxi energy." Xiaoloon thought, "Please, it's called corrosive energy." Then, a second later, a huge stream of energy shot out from his hand. It enveloped all of Tienos' power, which was repelled. Caught off guard, Tienos couldn't react in time. Its whole body staggered. The power continued to build up. Tienos' eyes widened, and it collapsed directly to the ground. Only then did Xiaoloon wave his hand, retracting that power source. Seeing this scene, both Dong Nam and Anchi were simultaneously speechless. Then they widened their eyes and looked at each other at the same time. The black egg then reabsorbed the energy it had transferred into Xiaoloon's body. It gradually returned to normal. He got his voice back. "What just happened? I can speak again." His aura returned. The black egg quickly regained its original color. That was the limit. Hearing this, Xiaoloon couldn't help but be curious. "You mean the limit, right?" Far away, Fanla had been quietly observing everything. These 2 worms both have an egg next to them. Could this be the ancient egg relic? His gaze focused on Anchi and the black egg. Impossible. Impossible. The more he thought, the more frustrated he became. Even Master Yao Gui couldn't revive the ancient eggs. Just based on these 2 worms? I must be overthinking it. The eye in front of him suddenly emitted a light spark. A soft voice came from within it. "To all colleagues, Master Yao Gui has brought that important figure to the giant's garden, through the bronze mirror gate. All giants nearby, prepare yourselves. Be ready to await orders." Sensing this, Dong Nam and Xiaoloon were startled and looked over. At this moment, Fanla slowly pressed a button on his side. He thought to himself, "This is great. So, Master Yao Gui has returned to offer them to the Great One. It will surely be wonderful." It's decided then. Right after that, a piercing sound came from that button. Hearing this sound, both of them were stunned at the same time. Seeing Fanla's hand on the button on his side, Xiaoloon asked loudly, "Is that a warning sound? Or are you sending a signal to your comrades?" At the same time, the ground beneath their feet started to bubble with liquid. Just a second later, a giant beast appeared. Dong Nam was startled and turned around. Xiaoloon was too shocked to speak. Beside him, Dong Nam was just as terrified. From out of nowhere, a series of giant beasts advanced in unison, gradually surrounding the 2 of them. Xiaoloon's eyes were wide as he looked around in a daze. "What the hell is this? Why are there so many?" Their power radiated from his hands. Dong Nam reminded him in a low voice. "What are you spacing out for? Let's cooperate to break through the encirclement, then we'll talk. As soon as he finished speaking, he gathered his strength and leaped up. Xiaoloon stood in place, watching. Dong Nam single-handedly dealt with a series of beasts to break the encirclement. He was so shocked his jaw dropped, silently marveling, so strong. It seems like he can handle it all by himself. He basically doesn't need my help at all. Thinking this, Xiaoloon quickly ran to follow his steps. Just then, a sharp claw swung towards him. While running, Xiaoloon was still able to nimbly dodge it. At the same time, a sharp tail extended out. Xiaoloon also easily jumped up and over it, which made even him wonder. What's going on? While running and dodging every blow, he couldn't help but marvel silently. This is amazing. I can actually easily dodge the attacks of these freaks. Why are the movements of these freaks so slow? At this moment, Dong Nam, who was attacking a beast, also noticed. Seeing Xiaoloon easily dodge, and she said with some surprise, "Master, this kid's skills are pretty decent, huh?" Dong Nam continued to watch him and explained, "It's not that his skills have improved, it's that he has slowed down the attacks of those monstrous creatures. Now I can be 100% sure that black egg is the egg of destruction mentioned in the ancient texts." Hearing this, and she seemed to think of something. "So, should we?" The two ran side by side. Dong Nam still didn't take his eyes off the other party. He cut in, "No. Right now, we are in the world of the giants. The situation is not good, so this is still not the best time to take its power." And she, a little confused, spoke softly again. "But, Master, if we can strip away the power of the black egg sooner, then we can leave this place sooner and get back to save young Miss Fei Ni." Dong Nam suddenly waved his hand, his power flaring. He snapped, "Don't be rash. Focus on the current situation." And she, scared, quickly replied, "Understood." Xiaoloon leaned over to dodge two claws lunging at him. He looked amused. "Black egg, look. I can handle this easily too." The black egg beside him reminded him, "Slick, hurry up. That giant will be able to move again in 2 minutes." Hearing this, Xiaoloon was momentarily startled. What? The black egg on his shoulder insisted again. "Remember, get the death wish." Hearing this, Xiaoloon suddenly stopped. With a puzzled expression, he mumbled, "Death wish. Right, the silver key." The black egg continued, "Getting back depends on the death wish." At this moment, he remembered, "I almost forgot. The silver key." Recalling earlier, the key was placed on the ground near Fanla. Currently, it was still there. Xiaoloon was sure of it. It was dropped near the giant. Then he turned and ran back the way he came. Seeing this, Dong Nam didn't ask, just silently wondered, where is this kid running off to? The surrounding space was quiet. Xiaoloon avoided a series of monsters. He quickly ran towards the key. It really is here. At that moment, Fanla, from up high, was looking down. Seeing this, the black egg urgently prompted, "Slick, hurry up!" Xiaoloon quickly bent down to pick up the key. "I know." Seeing the giant hand reaching for him, the black egg shrieked in panic. "Big trouble! Slick, he wants to grab it first." Hearing this, Xiaoloon was startled and turned his head to look. Just then, Fanla's fist slammed down hard on the ground. When he lifted it, the spot was empty. Only shattered rocks remained. Fanla's body trembled slightly, and he froze. He thought angrily, "What? Damn it. I could barely move, and now I'm frozen again?" The dust gradually settled, revealing the silhouette of the black egg in the distance, carrying Xiaoloon. His eyes were wide open. Holding the key in his hand, he panted heavily. "I thought I was a goner for sure. Thanks, black egg." The black egg then gently moved and carried Xiaoloon away. Then it gently placed Xiaoloon on the ground. A second later, the black egg's whole body went limp. It fell powerlessly. Luckily, Xiaoloon reached out in time to catch it. He temporarily held the key in his mouth. He himself checked on the black egg. "Black egg, what's wrong with you? Can you hear me? Black egg?" A series of questions rang out, but the black egg remained silent. Xiaoloon became worried. "Black egg, don't scare me." Fanla had now started moving again. He swung his arm. His deep voice echoed. "So it was because of this thing that I was frozen." The eye in the center flashed with a cold light. Fanla growled, "Without this thing to help you, let's see where you can run." Seeing this, Xiaoloon hugged the black egg and turned to flee. He thought to himself, "Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to you." He didn't get far. Fanla easily lifted him off the ground with his hand. He said smugly, "See, where can a little worm like you run?" Just then, a sound came from the distance. It was Tinos running over. Seeing it, Fanla couldn't help but be overjoyed. "Tinos, that's great. You're okay. Suddenly, Tinos braced itself and stomped hard on the ground. Fanla watched, slightly startled, only to see Tinos nimbly move forward and snatch Xiaolun. Watching it get further and further away, Fanla was stunned and shouted, "Tinos! Wait, Tinos! What's wrong with you, Tinos?" Tinos paid no mind and turned to run straight away. Looking back, Xiaolun thought with some confusion, "What's happening? Is it helping me? Could it be that the energy erosion technique has a control and submission effect?" Xiaolun was a bit tense now. He was being carried away in Tinos' mouth. Very quickly, Dong Nam arrived at the spot it had passed. Before he could react, Xiaolun urged, "Hurry up, it's on our side." Although An Chi and Dong Nam were a bit dazed, they still responded, "Got it, I know." He quickly leaped high into the air. Dong Nam landed gently on Tinos' back. It then just bolted and ran non-stop. Meanwhile, Fanla behind them was screaming his lungs out. "Tinos!" His steps faltered. Wait. Fanla bowed his head and speculated, "This little egg can control Tinos. If that's the case, then maybe I can use its power to get back the giant shell from the insect emperor. It might be possible." Done. This time, I can definitely get praise from Master Yao Gui. The scene shifts to where Tinos is running. Xiaolun, holding the black egg, introduced himself without turning back. "My name is Feng Xiaolun. What's your name? Are you from around here?" Dong Nam introduced himself while honestly recounting, "My name is Dong Nam, and we came here together through a space jump. I was in the cave at that time. Because I detected an anomaly with the sapper egg, that's why I went in." His words stunned him. "A space jump? Could this be the power of that black egg?" Suddenly, An Chi unexpectedly approached Xiaolun. While he was still dazed, it affirmed, "That's right, this is its power." Xiaolun stared blankly at the black egg and the key. "So this key is the thing used to go back, right?" Suddenly, Dong Nam angrily yelled out, "An Chi!" Hearing that, Xiaolun turned his head in surprise. Meanwhile, it seemed not to care. A whip suddenly appeared from outside the black egg. That whip swung fiercely towards An Chi, causing it to be unable to react in time. Seeing this, Dong Nam rushed forward. He embraced it to shield it from the blow. Xiaolun, seeing it move, happily called out, "Black egg, you're awake." Dong Nam said no more and retreated. He scolded An Chi in a low voice. "If I hadn't called out, were you going to be reckless? You're not hurt, are you?" It immediately replied with a trembling, remorseful voice. "Master, I'm fine. I'm sorry." Suddenly, Xiaolun was startled by a strange discovery. Isn't that a wall up ahead? Before them was a wall blocking the path. Since they couldn't go any further, the four of them had to get down and investigate. Xiaolun touched it with a look of amazement. "It feels like a wall, this feeling. Could it be that this place is outside the wall? Could our original world be right on the other side of this wall?" The black egg, standing beside him, suddenly trembled. When he noticed it, he couldn't help but worry. "Hey, black egg, are you still okay?" Black egg, sensing Xiaolun's concern, it quickly reassured him, "I'm fine." Gong Gong activated the backup cage for defense. "I'm just a little tired for now. I can't use my powers." Xiaolun turned to look at it in surprise. "Defense? Did that An Chi egg attack you?" The black egg replied with some resignation. "I'm not sure. It just activated instinctively. But, Slick, we can't be too trusting of others." After hearing this, he also felt it was reasonable. "I get that point. After all, after that incident, I don't trust others anymore." A memory from Xiaolun's childhood resurfaced. "I know you're fakes. You're not my real parents. Go away." In his memory, the other two just looked at Xiaolun and laughed menacingly. Seeing him so lost in thought, Dong Nam turned his attention to him. He quickly spoke up to get his attention. First, let's try to understand the current situation. What do you think?" Xiaolun replied blankly. "Huh? Okay, you talk." After a moment of consideration, the two stood facing each other to talk. But Dong Nam was the first to speak. "You said you inserted the key into the red soldier egg slot, and then you came here." "That's right. The black egg must have used him as a medium for the door." This amount of information made Xiaolun instinctively clench his fists. The red soldier egg was the medium for the door? He affirmed seriously, "Yes. The fact that he's not here is the best proof." Only then did he look blankly at the key in his hand. "Oh. So it was all because of this key in the end." Xiaolun turned back to the black egg with suspicion. "Black egg, tell me, where is this place exactly? Is this place really outside the wall?" It suddenly moved a few times, startling him. The black egg dropped straight to the ground without a word. It used its tail-like wing to draw a few lines on the ground. Dong Nam watched its every move seriously. Xiaolun also watched it blankly. When it was finished, the black egg spoke up and explained, "I'm done drawing. We are here." What it drew was a map. In the shape of an egg. Xiaolun became more and more confused. "I don't understand this at all. Are we in another egg-shaped world? This place outside the wall is so strange." Even Dong Nam was stunned for a moment at the sight. We're not outside the wall, but inside?" He looked up in astonishment after hearing that. Huh? This left him speechless. The black egg, on the other hand, was still diligently explaining, "Right. According to the diagram, we are still inside the wall. Look. This is where we are standing." Xiaolun was startled and couldn't believe it. What? The place where we were standing was just a small part of this egg? How can that be? It continued to run around to point things out. "This is Slick. This is me. And then this is our current position." He knelt down, pointed, and asked, "What about this large part?" The black egg shrugged helplessly. "This area is undisclosed." According to it, the small area at the top was disclosed, while the large area at the bottom was not. But Xiaolun looked down in astonishment. Such a large area is still undisclosed? This egg-shaped wall looks really big. The area we live in is just a tiny part, but it doesn't really look like a sphere. The black egg pointed to the area just above and explained, "That is the fifth visual field created by the human brain." Dong Nam immediately seemed to understand a bit. More precisely, it's an illusion created by the wall. He still, as usual, had no idea what was going on. A wall? The wall again. He slowly opened his mouth. Sometimes, what the eye sees may not be real. Xiaolun shot up and asked urgently, "Do you know anything about this wall?" Dong Nam honestly told him, "I only know that the wall is a living organism, and it has its own will." He was stunned to hear that. A living organism? We're living inside a living organism? This is just too creepy. Dong Nam had no choice but to remind him, "I think you should ask that black egg. It might know even more than I do." But it just shook its head helplessly. "I don't know. My memory begins from the moment Slick and I first saw each other." Prompted by Xiaolun, "But you can draw a map. You must know something." The black egg could only clarify. "About the map. It's because I discovered a singularity." And Xiaolun listened, bewildered. "A singularity? What's that?" Dong Nam interjected with the answer. "A singularity is a place where time and space are distorted, right?" The black egg moved closer to the map and pointed. "Previously, we passed through two singularities. Through them, the two places were connected. That's just how we suddenly appeared here." And Xiaolun asked blankly, "So if we want to go back, we have to go through these two singularities, right?" It replied bluntly, "Can't. Because those two singularities disappeared after I used them." Xiaolun was stunned and asked, "Then how can we get back?" The black egg quickly answered, "Through the key. It has memorized our original location. You just need to find the keyhole, created by the synchronization process, and you'll be able to return." Hearing this, he also remembered yesterday's events. "Keyhole? Is it like the keyhole on the red soldier egg? Before?" It nodded in agreement. "Yes. That was created to synchronize with this side." Xiaolun's eyes widened as he speculated, "So what about the keyhole on this side? Could it be where we were just sent from?" The black egg replied helplessly, "Originally, it probably was at that spot. However, while I was trying to grasp the singularity, it was interfered with by an invisible force. That information shocked him. An invisible force? It flew up high as it recounted, "I'm afraid this force will take us to another place. Luckily, I copied the coordinates to the key beforehand, but the keyhole was taken by that force." And she in the back was surprised. "Taken?" Even Dong Nam had to frown deeply. Could it be the work of the ghouls here? If that's true, we're in big trouble. Xiaolun squatted down and inquired, "Black egg, where was the keyhole taken from?" It then pointed to a place within this revealed area. The more he listened, the more confused he became. "Why aren't you saying anything?" Suddenly, Dong Nam approached and pointed in a direction. "Black egg, this spherical place. Do you know where it is?" It answered honestly. "This appeared when that area was revealed, so I don't know either." Xiaolun asked suspiciously, "Spherical?" Looking closer, there was a circle on it. Dong Nam had a suspicious idea. "Wait. Appeared together means it can be found. In the world of the giants?" The black egg immediately let out a loud hiss, as if it had been exposed. "So, it can be found here." He was startled and panicked upon hearing that. Dong Nam's expression affected Xiaolun as well. To the black egg. "Black egg, I'm sure this isn't their first time here. From his calm reaction on the way here, I already felt something was off." It suddenly suggested, "I'll go ask him." Hearing that, Xiaolun panicked and stopped it. "Don't. If he doesn't want to say it, it means he doesn't want to. Let's not make things difficult for ourselves. He must know quite a bit. If we can't find the keyhole, he'll be our backup plan. He made a request, so we have to stay by their side. Don't let them out of our sight. The black egg immediately nodded in obedience. Dong Nam and An Chi, on the other side, had similar worries. Master, just now, did we act too familiar? It seems like we should stop asking about core issues for now. Just as he thought that, Xiaoloon suddenly turned to them. They gave a friendly smile, which startled them both. He suggested, Black Egg, that place where it was taken, can't you narrow down the area? It quickly replied, no problem. Actually, we can use the key's vision sharing function. Xiaolun asked blankly, the key's vision sharing function? Dong Nam on this side was also startled and confused. He stood up and pointed at the key. Using this key, the black egg quickly confirmed. Because the key and the keyhole are connected, the keyhole can see the vision through the key, and the key can also see it. Xiaolun got straight to the point. So, how do we do it? It took the key without another word. Give me the key. The black egg pointed the tip of the key towards Xiaolun. Don't be afraid. Just relax, and then close your eyes. He obediently followed. Xiaolun slowly closed his eyes tight. A stream of power from the key swirled. The tip of the key pointed straight at his eyelid. After a moment, the black egg slowly spoke. Okay, you can slowly open your eyes now. Xiaolun slowly opened his eyes as instructed. When he saw clearly, he was stunned, his eyes wide open. Inside, Xiaolun saw a large spiral. The scene inside gradually changed. Is this the keyhole's perspective? Under this semicircular screen, it looks like a city. After a moment of adjusting, Xiaolun stared blankly. He looked at the tightly bound hands. Huh? 2 hands. This keyhole is indeed placed on a person's body, locked up like this. Could this be a prisoner being escorted? Then the person escorting them. Huh? He looked up at the figure in front. It must be that woman. She's sitting with a superior air. Suddenly, she turned her head towards Xiaolun. Huh? Her hand gently performed a technique. His vision accordingly became dizzy. It gradually narrowed its field of view. And finally, it shut tight. The space was pitch black. But Xiaolun then opened his eyes wide in shock. I've been hit. Did she spot me? The black egg, seeing his rich expression, couldn't help but wonder. Slick, what happened? He hastily recounted what just happened. The keyhole was shut down by a mysterious girl. I guess. That girl is the one who took the energy source. And it seems she even saw me. It slowly explained. If the keyhole is attached to a living creature, then when sharing vision, the pupils will change slightly. Dongnam asked curiously, anyway, if this girl has the power to take things, then it's possible for her to have detected you. But did you see everything around you clearly? Xiaolun sat down and drew on the ground with his hand. A city under a transparent white membrane. A circle like this. After a while of diligent work, he managed to draw it. Then, judging by the scream, the person with the keyhole is a woman. Moreover, her hands are bound. And she asked blankly, bound? The identity of this keyhole bearer is a prisoner, or an escorted item. He asked for more about the situation. Is there any other information? Hearing this, Xiaolun continued to explain. The woman who took the keyhole wore an all-white outfit. She looked young. There were 2 other people with her. They seemed to be in a cave, and were looking at the semicircular screen city ahead. You mean here? 2 figures in full-body suits were on the ground below. Dong Nam immediately asked for more. What about the other 2? Did you see their faces? How were they dressed? Xiaolun raised his head and replied, those 2 were clearly larger than the woman in white. One wore a hood, so I couldn't see their face. I don't know if they were giants or not. The black egg suddenly picked up the key and approached. That's right, Slick. I forgot to tell you the numbers in the countdown. This is how long the key will exist. He asked blankly, confused. What does time of existence mean? Black egg had to explain. It means when the time is reset to 0, the key will disappear. After hearing that, Xiaolun realized the seriousness. What? Suddenly, Dongnam shot up and signaled for them to be quiet. There's movement. The 2 of them immediately bolted behind Tinos. A shadow suddenly appeared from the rock crevices. He whispered urgently, we have to get out of here. Fast. As he was speaking, Dongnam suddenly froze. Behind Xiaolun, a figure had appeared out of nowhere. Dongnam quickly yelled, Xiaolun, behind you! Startled, he immediately turned to see Manito, clinging tightly to him. Xiaolun was quickly dragged to the ground by her. Seeing this, he rushed over to Xiaolun. He gritted his teeth, trying to remove what was wrapped around him. What's this wrapped around my waist? Is it a vine? I can't pull it off. Even Black Egg couldn't resist the strength of Manito. Both of them were being dragged by her towards the damn crevice. Let go! Suddenly, noises came from inside the crevice. Dongnam was startled and panicked when he heard them. A foot slowly stepped out from within. Dai arrogantly stepped out from the crevice. Dongnam immediately got into a fighting stance. With one hand, he easily grabbed Black Egg. Dai and Manito grabbed both of them tightly. Black Egg and Xiaoloon. He proposed, "Let me borrow this black ancient egg relic for a moment, okay? In return, I can tell you where that city is." He was immediately startled to hear that. Ancient egg relic? Why would he call Black Egg that? Dai asked again in a louder voice. Well? Dongnam didn't answer, but questioned him instead. When did you start following us? The woman holding Xiaoloon quickly answered. It all started when you were playing hide and seek with the Tinos in the nurturing grounds. But you guys are too slow. It took you this long to notice us. Hearing that, he was shocked, his eyes wide. What? It all started back then? He seemed to have lost his patience. Dai growled. How annoying. I asked you, what's your answer? Dongnam immediately retorted loudly. Answer what? You've captured people. Is this how you make a request? Manito said sarcastically in a low voice. A request? As if we need to request anything from you. We gave you a chance, and you blew it. Xiaoloon also noticed her words. Dai. He smirked arrogantly and decided, so, you're saying our negotiation has failed? In that case, I'll kill the masked guy. You don't have a problem with that, do you? Master of the relic egg. Hearing that, Xiaoloon was stunned. Wait. Suddenly, Dai smirked with great interest. He rushed towards Dongnam with incredible speed, so fast he couldn't react. So fast. Dai struck a blow, but it just passed right through Dongnam. When Dai felt no impact, he was shocked. What's going on? He passed through my body? He just charged straight through Dongnam. Then, he once again turned back towards him. Using his speed, he continuously attacked Dongnam from multiple directions. Meanwhile, he was still confused. What is happening? Why does he keep passing through me like this? Only when he was hit head-on was Dongnam stunned. What? So it wasn't a shadow? A series of punches were thrown, leaving him no time to defend himself. Damn it! This time it's a physical attack. Is he using clones to misdirect me, and then attacking with his real body? Alright, I've figured out your trick. Now, just wait for my counterattack. Then, another figure suddenly appeared from behind Dongnam, terrifying him. It was another clone of Dongnam, created by Dai. He smirked cunningly. So, the thing you fear most is yourself without a mask? He was stunned, his eyes wide with terror. Angrily, Dongnam dodged, avoiding the approach. You bastard. You probed my mind. Dai stepped back and laughed mockingly. How ridiculous. This is the first time I've seen someone afraid of their own unmasked face. What the hell? It was like he'd hit a nerve. Furious, Dongnam decided to go all out. You bastard. The two quickly engaged in a fierce battle. Manito, watching from the sidelines, remarked, this guy is compressing air to create explosions. Xiaoloon shouted a reminder to Dongnam. Don't be fooled. That guy hasn't moved at all. Sure enough, Dai had been right next to him the whole time. Dongnam froze on the spot. What? Xiaoloon turned to D and then shouted to Dongnam. He hasn't made a move at all. The one fighting is an illusion. He immediately reasoned, if it's an illusion, then how could I have hit him? Each one. He was immediately surprised. Is this simultaneously creating real and fake clones? Behind him, Manito also smirked with excitement. Your eyes are terrible. It's been one-on-one this whole time, okay? Dealing with him only requires one clone. Xiaoloon paused. Huh? Dai curled his lips, not shy about showing off. My ability allows me to freely switch between my real body and my clone. I can swap the whole thing, or I can swap just a part of my body. Hearing that, she was startled and scolded him. Hey, why did you just casually reveal your ability like that? Xiaoloon was also stunned. Swap the whole body or just a part. No wonder the real and fake can switch back and forth. But why would he tell me his ability? He answered honestly, this is a sign of my sincerity. Xiaoloon frowned in thought. Sincerity. This guy does whatever he wants. However, revealing his ability also shows that he really wants Black Egg's help. Very quickly, Dai returned to the fight. Look, I've caught him. Over here. Not only was Dongnam caught, but he was also beaten to a pulp. Dai turned to Xiaoloon with a serious face. Is he a teammate? But from what I've observed this whole time, he seems to have a different goal than you. Although he didn't answer, doubts arose in his mind. Teammate. Not really a teammate. We've only just met. Although I don't know why he approached me. Xiaoloon glanced at Dongnam. I'm relying on him to find a way out. It's not like my motives are pure either. We're just using each other. No need to overthink it, right, Black Egg? It quickly replied, my life also depends on Xiaoloon. It's also mutual use, so I'll listen to you. Those sincere words moved Xiaoloon. Black Egg. He decided to take a gamble. Dai, let's negotiate again, seriously this time. Having achieved his goal, Dai ordered Manito, let him go. She seemed a bit reluctant, but he didn't hesitate and yelled, now. And finally, although unwilling, Manito still let him go. Dai urged impatiently. Let's hear it, Xiaoloon quickly demanded. Release Dongnam. He happily agreed. That's easy enough. Xiaoloon frowned seriously and added, also, I want you to personally lead us to that city. Those are my only two conditions. Hearing this, Dee paused. Personally? Manito behind him yelled unhappily, you dare make demands of us? And you want him to personally take you? Xiaoloon immediately retorted. He was the one who emphasized the word negotiate. Tell me, what does negotiate mean? His words left her speechless. Hearing this, Dai couldn't help but laugh with amusement. Not bad. Black Egg, standing by, was panicking. Xiaoloon. What if he doesn't agree? Xiaoloon quickly reassured it, and himself. He's so strong. With him as an escort, just his presence is intimidating enough. Besides, he's the one who asked for your help. As long as our request isn't too unreasonable, there's a high chance he'll agree. So even if we're pretending, we have to act resolute. Without a word, he strode over to Xiaoloon. He looked down, straight into his eyes. Judging by your expression, you're sure I'll agree? But Xiaoloon's gaze didn't waver. This made Dai curl his lips in amusement. Finally, he reluctantly agreed. For now. Fine. But it depends on whether it can do what I ask of it. Those words made Black Egg sweat with fear. What do you want it to do? Dai stated his request with satisfaction. It's simple. Help me control the giant's corpse. Next, a stunned Xiaoloon asked back. The giant's corpse? What's that? Dongnam was just as startled. He then generously released Black Egg and said, as soon as it was released, it sulkily nestled into Xiaoloon's arms. Xiaoloon carefully picked up Black Egg to examine it. The thing that was holding Black Egg, can it be removed, or not? Dai answered nonchalantly, it's just a safety measure. Let's go. A cry was heard from this side. Xiaoloon was startled and turned to Dongnam. He asked with concern, Dongnam, are you okay? He quickly steadied himself. I'm fine. I don't need your help. Dongnam's words made him, who was about to help, step back. But Xiaoloon hesitated and advised, I've already agreed to help him, so we have to get along with them for now. But after what happened earlier, he was so angry he wanted to tear the other guy to pieces. Living peacefully with that guy is absolutely impossible. Seeing this, he could only give a helpless, bitter smile. Looks like he's furious. Best to say less and not make him angrier. Dai walked ahead, leading the way. This way. Xiaoloon asked blankly, hey, if we rode the giant monster, wouldn't it be faster? But he stated flatly, we don't need that thing. Xiaoloon looked blankly from D to it. Oh, okay. Right, Black Egg. How much longer can you control the giant monster? It thought for a moment, then replied, less than half an hour left. He seemed to have a plan. That's enough. Tinos, which had been lying still, suddenly jumped up. It rushed past the crevice and took off. Run wild, giant beast. As far away from here as possible. Seeing this, Dai couldn't help but nod. Oh, this kid isn't dumb. The group quickly went inside. Xiaoloon suddenly broke the silence. Manito just said, the merman who wasn't there. Was he your teammate? Was he human before? She immediately growled in frustration. Yes. By the time we got there to save him, it was too late. He'd already been put into the human nurturing sphere. It was all that bastard Fanla's doing. He wanted to lure Dai out. How despicable. Even he was so angry his face turned pale. That one-eyed monster. Sooner or later, I will cut it in half. He finally understood. So, they came to this nurturing place to save a teammate. And then they found us. A button appeared on the rock wall. Dai walked over and pressed the button. Instantly, a secret door opened. Xiaoloon looked down in surprise. A tunnel down there? He looked apprehensively into the deep hole, but there are no stairs. Suddenly, his hand was on Xiaoloon's neck. Dai raised his foot and kicked him in the back. He delivered a kick, easily kicking Xiaoloon down below, making him scream horribly. Seeing him in danger, Black Egg quickly shouted, Xiaoloon. Xiaoloon was pushed into a bottomless portal. It didn't hesitate and rushed after him. Dai just stood there watching, then smiled. Without a second's hesitation, he bent his knees slightly and jumped straight into the portal. The group, Manito suddenly appeared from the shadows. Dongnam and Nji looked at her. Manito shrugged and said, "Don't look at me. Do it yourself. Take this." She took a cocoon from her person. She held it out in front of him. Dong Nam took it, looking at it doubtfully. "This is a cocoon?" Looking at Dai's retreating back, Manito said, "Just stick it on your skin. I'd recommend the back of your neck, or your back." Suddenly, Dong Nam, holding the cocoon, was startled and turned towards the portal. "Look." Seeing him distracted, she stepped forward. "I'll cover the rear. You go." Back to Xiaolun, who was in freefall. He felt something uncomfortable on his neck. "That's weird. Why is my neck so itchy?" He reached a hand to the back of his neck. Suddenly, he touched a cocoon. While he was wondering, he caught up from behind. Dai grabbed Black Egg, ignoring its struggles. Xiaolun's face paled. "Huh? Wings?" Seeing his dazed expression, Dai couldn't help but tease him. "Don't be so foolish. Use your mind to control the butterfly wings on your neck." Xiaolun regained his composure, his hand still holding the cocoon tightly. "You're the fool. You just kicked me out of nowhere, and now you're telling me to control some butterfly wings I know nothing about." He didn't bother arguing with Xiaolun anymore. He quickly flew off. "We're almost there." "Good luck!" Black Egg yelled. "Xiaolun!" Xiaolun hurriedly shouted. "Hey, wait!" He clenched his fists and gritted his teeth, cursing under his breath. This hateful guy. Is this how you treat someone you asked for help? From a distance, it sent a telepathic message. "Xiaolun, hurry up and spread your wings like he did." But Xiaolun wanted to try. "But with the cocoon behind me, I want to, but," he just said, "to use my thoughts to control this thing on my neck." Seeing the ground below, he panicked. "Hey, I'm really about to hit the bottom." Xiaolun's eyes were shut tight, his whole body sweating. "Hurry up and spread wings." It struggled anxiously in Dai's hand, crying out, "Xiaolun." The cocoon on the back of his neck suddenly cracked, releasing a lot of black energy. Just as Xiaolun's head was about to hit the ground, the black energy suddenly split into two large streams. They rose up, catching him. "Spread for me." The ground suddenly cracked as he flew into the air. From behind his back, the streams of energy gathered and formed a pair of wings. He and Black Egg looked on, completely baffled. Dai smirked and assessed the wings. Butterfly wings have a fragile, soft structure. They're just a tool for flying, with no power at all. His gaze shifted to the cracked ground. What are these cracks on the ground? Could it be that this kid's butterfly wings have changed their properties? Xiaolun excitedly looked at the wings, left and right. "Whoa, this is amazing. I'm really flying." Dai suddenly felt a flicker of interest. "This kid's ability is pretty interesting." Dongnam's voice came from above him. "Xiaolun, are you okay? That guy likes to play dirty. Be careful." He looked up. Luckily, at the last second, these butterfly wings managed to open. Black Egg was released and rushed to Xiaolun. He gave a cunning smile. He glanced at him. "Play dirty? Pot? Meat kettle. Weren't you also probing his abilities? Otherwise, how could that Tinos be so weak that after just a few hits, it was pinned to the ground?" Hearing that, NG was the first to react. "That's not it. If it weren't for Master Being," seeing it was about to slip up, Dongnam yelled, "NZ, that's enough. A guy like him is impossible to reason with." Dai wasn't intimidated. Instead, he challenged the one he had defeated. "Does a loser have the right to talk to me?" He gritted his teeth. "If you've got the guts, fight me one more time." He paid him no mind and quickly turned to leave. "You should calm down," Dongnam shouted from behind. "Get back here." Xiaolun was speechless. "My original master was tricked by you people, and didn't say anything. And yet, you guys are arguing with each other." He flew alongside Anzi, puzzled. "Master, what's wrong? This isn't like you at all." Dongnam sighed. "Sorry, after that guy saw through me, I've just been feeling agitated and uneasy." It looked at him with worried eyes. "Master," Dongnam reassured it, "don't worry, I'll calm down." After flying for a while, they arrived at a colorful mountain range. Xiaolun, flying behind, looked around and asked, "Where on earth is this place? The scenery is completely different." He, in the lead, answered, "This is the Black Tree Grotto, one of the ancient egg's ruins." Hearing that, he was surprised, as if remembering something. Ancient egg ruins. Black Tree Grotto. "Oh, right. Earlier, you called Black Egg an ancient relic something. Why did you call it that?" Dai glanced back and slowly explained, 100 years ago, this place was like you are now. Everyone had an egg by their side. But then, someone from the forbidden land of the egg world brought back some kind of disaster. It caused the eggs to gradually disappear. Eventually, this place became the lifeless state it is today. Hearing that, Xiaolun couldn't help but be curious. Forbidden land disappeared. So, Does that mean now no one has an egg by their side anymore? Dai nodded and patiently explained. That's right. They're almost extinct. That's why they're called ancient egg creatures. However, there is one exception. The ancient egg relic, called the giant's corpse. Xiaoloon was surprised and blurted out, Is that the giant's corpse that you said you want Black Egg to control? What are you planning to do? Dai's brows furrowed as he nodded seriously. That's right. I want to control the giant's corpse. To find the poisonous flower of the Ying tree. Xiaoloon was hit with one surprise after another. The poisonous flower of the Ying tree? What's that now? She flew in front of him impatiently. It's the antidote for gigantification. With it, Dai's hand and his mother will also be. Dee cut her off, shouting, Manito, shut your mouth! As if understanding something, Xiaoloon thought, his hand, and his mother's, are both gigantified? His eyes shifted to the gloved hand. No wonder he wears such a big glove. Xiaoloon's eyes remained fixed on that hand. Dai's hands, proportionally speaking, aren't even 1/3 the size of that one-eyed giant's. This gigantified matter must be constantly corroding his body. He speculated to himself and thought, that must really suck. Sensing his pitying gaze, he turned around. Dai spoke in a loud, firm voice. Listen here, Xiaoloon. You don't need to worry about anything else. Just help me find the poisonous flower of the Ying tree. That's all. Hearing that, he pushed aside his worries and asked, Okay, right, Dai. Earlier, you said someone from the forbidden land of the egg-shaped world brought back a disaster. You guys already knew this world is egg-shaped? He turned and walked slowly forward, nodding. Yes, I learned it from my mother. She called this egg-shaped world the Nuan Sheng Ming, life egg. Nuan Sheng Ming. What exactly is this egg-shaped world? Did your mother say anything else? He shook his head coolly, unwilling to say more. That's all. She clammed up on any deeper topics. Seeing his expression, he didn't ask any more. And Z, next to Dong Nam, sent him a telepathic message. Master. The Forbidden Zone. That guy mentioned is probably that central circular area, right? Dong Nam frowned, his expression unsightly. Probably. The Crow Demon clan has always been investigating that center, but they have absolutely no information. The deeper they went, the gloomier the mountain became. I never thought that we'd now discover it on Black Egg's map. If the Crow Demon clan finds out, this Black Egg and Xiaoloon will likely become their target. After a moment of silence, he couldn't help but speak up. Dai. Actually, to be honest with you, we only have less than 21 hours left, so we have to find that city quickly. He paused for a moment and gave Xiaoloon a reassuring look. Don't worry, I know the fastest way there, and my business won't take up too much time. With that, Dai quickly flew down. Let's go, we're here. Dong Nam heard that, and as his eyes landed, he was startled. Next to him, he was also surprised. As soon as he landed, his wings retracted. Xiaoloon marveled. These butterfly wings are amazing. They followed my command and retracted on their own. As he walked and looked around, he noticed, by the way, what are these things wrapped in bundles? Over here? Seeing Xiaoloon's eyes fixed on the cocoons, she spoke. These are protective cocoons. If Dai and I weren't here, you'd probably have become their food by now. Xiaoloon didn't answer, but was surprised. Huh? So inside these cocoons are live, man-eating monsters? Whoosh! He stepped. His foot stopped next to a cocoon. He saw it moving slightly. Xiaoloon thought, pretty creepy. Then they continued deeper. Dai, in the lead, stopped and spoke. We're here, Dong Nam, and he looked and froze. Ahead was a giant egg, bound by 5 iron chains. This is the giant's shell. It's that much bigger than Black Egg? Dai shook his head, raised his hand, and attacked. The eggshell was cut open, revealing a blue-black egg inside. The whole group was startled and stood there, stunned, not saying a word. He pointed inside, breaking the silence. Kid, see that inside? That's the real body. Their eyes were all glued to the giant inside. Xiaoloon used telepathy with it. Although it's almost as big as you, Black Egg, the blue light around it feels very dangerous. Actually, in less than a day, it has already formed so many layers of shells. His eyes widened. One day? By the way, how does it make people gigantified? She didn't answer, walking towards the giant. Then she poked the giant eggshell with her finger. This place. Manito pointed at them and said, having a gigantifying effect, is mainly because of this third layer. Did you notice the giant sphere in the sky? Of the nurturing grounds? As if realizing something, he nodded and answered, I get it. They use its shell to make the sphere, to carry out the gigantification. She nodded, her voice hesitant. That's right, this giant's shell, through this method, is turning this world into this hellish state. to establish their hegemony. Hearing that, Xiaoloon wondered, they? Dai walked over and used his gloved hand to pull the giant out. It was slowly but decisively pulled out by him. Dai grabbed the chain stuck in its back. His eyes turned sharp as he shouted, "The existence of this relic is a disaster." It sensed danger and couldn't help but speak. "You rotten kid! You're hurting your grandpa!" Hearing that, Dee didn't hesitate. He spat and cursed, "Grandpa, my ass!" The giant snorted coldly. "You dare talk to your grandpa like that? Want to find the poisonous flower of the Ying tree? No way." He brought it in front of Black Egg. "Hurry up and control it for me." It was about to say something but was cut off by the giant. "That thing? Besides your grandpa? There are other relics? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. What's ridiculous?" The giant sneered. "How ignorant. There's still a lethal egg nectar residue in this air. If your grandpa wasn't in there, creating a protective shell, you'd have died long ago." Xiaoloon caught the main point and asked, "Lethal egg nectar? Can you explain something?" Without waiting for its answer, Dai explained. "It's the calamity brought from the Forbidden Zone, the one I told you about before." From behind, she came up and added, "The honey, this egg. To the eggs, it's a terrifying existence, but after being absorbed, it's a deadly poison. As for the after effects of the honey, this egg seems to be reacting to the environment here. It can evolve into a microorganism-like state. It constantly reproduces in the air, ultimately causing the eggs to die off en masse." Xiaoloon asked worriedly, "What is it, Black Egg? Are you feeling uncomfortable anywhere?" It shook its head. "I don't feel uncomfortable. Not at all. On the contrary, I feel more comfortable living here." Seeing everyone staring at it, the two communicated telepathically. "Xiaone, did I say something wrong? Ignore them. It's best that you're okay." He turned to look at him, then at it. "Dong Nan, what about your An Chi?" Dong Nan, who had been observing, shook his head. "It's fine," as if he had guessed something. "It means that maybe it's the difference of not being from the same world." He didn't tell Xiaoloon the truth. Actually, that's not it. At first, when An Chi was brought to the giant world, it almost died from poisoning. It looked left and right, not knowing what to say, and remained silent. Both Dong Nan and An Chi turned simultaneously. This black egg can actually live freely under the deadly egg honey. Is it because it has some kind of immunity? Or perhaps, like the egg honey, it also comes from the central region. His gaze was fixed on it and Xiaoloon. Therefore, regarding the calamity brought from there, it might be unaffected. The mysteries surrounding it are truly one after another. Her voice rang out, interrupting Dong Nan's train of thought. "I'm very curious about your world. Is it true that everyone has an egg?" He nodded. "That's right. Everyone has one." Seeing that no one was paying attention to him, Dai shouted, "Stop being curious about this and that. Black Egg, hurry up and control the giant's shell for me." But Black Egg shook its head, making a suggestion. "We have to wait a little longer. Earlier, letting Xiaone into combat form used up a lot of energy. So, to activate the energy of the resonance stone, I still need some time." He was losing patience, frowning as he asked, "When will it be ready? Give me a specific time." Black Egg pondered for a moment, then hesitantly replied, "This egg honey is nourishing my body. I should recover faster. I estimate about 15 minutes should be enough." The giant in Dai's hand trembled and retorted, "Liar! Stop lying to your master. How can egg honey nourish you?" Seeing it so agitated, Black Egg shook its head and mumbled, "I'm not lying." The giant, still disbelieving, shouted angrily, "You are lying." From behind, someone hurried over. "D. Schwan is awake." His eyes widened in disbelief as he asked again, "Really? My mom's awake?" The person nodded. "Yes." Upon receiving confirmation, Dai threw it towards the big eggshell. "Lock it up." She nodded. "Yes." Dai quickly pushed past the two and left. Watching his retreating back, Xiaoloon turned around. "Let's follow him." After walking for a while, they arrived at a cave. He looked around the cave and frowned, thinking, "This place has too many forks. It's easy to get lost if you don't follow closely." Speaking of which, where do all these paths lead? While lost in thought, Xiaoloon suddenly realized the path ahead changed, and everyone followed his footsteps. "I remember Dai once said this place is the Black Tree Pit, one of the ancient egg ruins." As they stepped inside, the final gate opened. So this must be the central area of the ruins. Xiaoloon's eyes darted around, noticing the carvings on the wall. He gradually slowed down to get a closer look. Suddenly, Xiaoloon noticed something about the carving. Is the person in this mural holding an egg? The little dots are lined up inside the egg. Are they drawing people? So creepy. Wait a minute. He and Black Egg stopped, their eyes glued to the image on the wall. Could this be a miniature projection? depicting our egg-shaped world? Xiaoloon squinted to get a better look and discovered, so these little dots are us. How can that be? Behind them, Dongnan and Enchi also realized it. It used telepathy, speaking so only the two of them could hear. Master, didn't we hear before that as long as we find the Yao Gui Shu, we could find the true exit of the known of life? Now looking at this mural, could the location drawn on it be the true direction of the exit? He thoughtfully looked at the black dots on the egg, and if this is an egg ruin, then it means this is likely a place of worship for the egg. If the true direction of the exit was known, it would have been discovered long ago. It frowned, sighed, its voice breaking. Compared to finding the exit, right now, I'm more concerned with finding a way to stop that guy from controlling you, Master. Hearing Enchi say this, Dongnan's face darkened, and he fell silent. After a brief pause, it reminded him again. Master, we should hurry and absorb the energy of the black egg. Now, I have no way to use my abilities to help you, Dongnan replied. I know you're worried about me, but I'm really fine. That guy modified you. He captured Faye to threaten us into finding the world-ending egg, to help him absorb its energy. His gaze remained fixed on the boy's back in front of him. But I feel like this isn't his true plan. His real plan is to use us to get close to Xiaoloon and Black Egg, to lure them into helping him find the real exit of the known of life. His eyes showed a look of determination. So, his real goal is outside the wall, to leave this bizarre egg-shaped world. And she was halfway through speaking, when Xiaoloon stopped up ahead. So what should we do? Do we need to absorb? Dee hurriedly lifted the curtain, unable to hide his joy. Her face was pale, with giant swollen legs. She looked at him. Mom. The person on the bed was Schwan, Dee's mother. She smiled. Dee. His face showed worry, as he quickly asked, You're finally awake. Do you know how long you've been asleep? Schwan nodded, glancing behind him. I heard from Wan It's been over half a month. Dee knelt by the bedside. How are you feeling now? Do your legs still hurt and feel swollen? Schwan looked back at his smiling face and replied, It's okay. It doesn't hurt much anymore. This made Dai extremely excited. Mom, from now on, you won't have to suffer this torment anymore. Very soon, we will find the Ying flower of the poisonous tree. Hearing this, she was confused. Huh? Then Schwan noticed two other people behind Dee. Her voice held a mix of surprise and curiosity. And these two are? Xiaoloon stepped forward with a friendly smile. Hello, ma'am. For some reason, facing him, Schwan stuttered a little. Hello. Dai turned to look at Xiaoloon and asked, Mom, you're surprised, aren't you? Suddenly, his hand grabbed Black Egg. Dai brought it in front of her, cheerful. It's this, the relic egg. It can help us find the Ying flower of the poisonous tree. Hello. Schwan's eyes widened, her jaw dropped. Black Egg was a bit awkward. Hello. In her mind, she suddenly remembered the image of her husband before he died. My wife? I've already thought of a name for the child in your womb. Dai. Let's call him Dai. Don't say any more. After taking out the oracle bone, is there still a way to live? Right? Tell me. A Chuan, with a weak breath, reminded her. Wife, let me finish. An egg, completely black. When it arrives, your doomsday has come. At that time, you must avoid it. With that, he took his last breath. Xuan hugged his body, screaming. It doesn't matter when I die. I just need you to live now. A Chuan, don't leave me. She stared at it, thinking to herself, a Chuan. What was meant to come, has come. It can't be avoided. Black Egg was stared at so intensely that it broke out in a cold sweat. The egg that's completely black predicts my impending doom. Her eyes remained glued to it, not saying a word. Schwan was still lost in her thoughts. Although A. Chuan's prophecies are very accurate, but in many situations, the images in the prophecies have no essential connection, which means the cause of my death might not necessarily be related to the black egg. It's just that the prophetic images just happened to appear at the same time. Seeing her lost in thought, he called out worriedly, Mom? Dai's voice pulled Schwan back to reality. She turned to look at Dai, puzzled. Mom, what's wrong? Schwan smiled reassuringly. Nothing's wrong. Oh right, Dee. You just said, the black relic egg can help you find the Ying flower of the poisonous tree, right? But most of the Ying flowers were destroyed by the giants long ago. And besides, the Ying flower knows how to run away on its own. Hearing this, Xiaoloon asked in surprise, It knows how to run? Isn't the Ying flower a plant? She looked at him and nodded. Yes, but it's different from ordinary plants. When it encounters danger, it will run away on its own. Catching it isn't so easy. Isn't that basically sentient? He turned and gave a confident smile. Don't worry. I have a way to lure it out. The shell of the giant can secrete a special substance. It's called egg condensing paste. It can attract the Ying flower. It seemed he also understood Dai's intention. So you want Black Egg to control the giant's shell and secrete the egg condensing paste? But the giant world is so big. Even if you secrete the egg condensing paste, the Ying flower might not necessarily be able to smell it, right? He put away his smile, his expression serious as he replied, We've already found several places where the Ying flower is likely hiding. She glanced at Black Egg. I see. So this little guy has control abilities. Maybe it can really help Dai neutralize the giant flower's poison. Schwan's face softened as she looked at him. This boy Dai was so clingy when he was little. I never thought he could now stand on his own and take charge. Although his future growth is something I might not be able to see. But now, the most important thing is to ensure his safety. Memories once again flooded her mind. For more than 10 years, we've always been hiding. Hiding from the crow's pursuit. If it weren't for the oracle bone from a Schwan protecting us, we would have been caught long ago. Returning to the present, Schwan unconsciously touched the back of her neck. Before my day of death arrives, the oracle bone must be passed into Dai's hands. Behind her, a large scar was hidden by her hair. But this thing erodes one's humanity. Without immense spiritual power, it's very difficult to control it. Even my current body is suffering from its backlash. She didn't want to spoil his mood. Can Dai handle it? And besides, if we can find the antidote now, and let Dai's hand recover, that would be for the best. Of course. Schwan still carried a worry in her heart. But what if they don't have good intentions? Or what if they're Ya's subordinates? Black Egg suddenly used telepathy with her. Are you afraid of me? Its voice echoed in her head, startling Schwan. You really are afraid of me. Is it because I look very ugly? She regained her composure, and sent a thought back. Is this the little Black Egg talking to me? It nodded. Yes. Something on your body is forcibly establishing a connection with me. She was surprised and voiced her speculation. Something? Is it the oracle bone? Black Egg repeated Schwan's words and said, So it's called the oracle bone? Just now, it seemed to detect your emotional fluctuations, and then it established a connection with me. From the moment you opened your mouth to answer me, we officially established a spiritual exchange. Looking at her expression, Black Egg said firmly, You are feeling scared, aren't you? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Even though I look all black, I'm not a bad person. Its words made her heart bloom. Immediately, Schwan leaned over and hugged Black Egg. This sudden action surprised him. Schwan hugged it tightly, afraid that if she let go, Black Egg would disappear. I'm sorry. Through the oracle bone, I can feel your genuine emotions. It's been a long time since I've felt a warm current flowing into my heart, making me feel so at ease. Dai watched this scene and called out worriedly. Mom? She paid him no mind, making a request via telepathy, then looked at them. Little Black Egg, help Dai neutralize the giant flower's poison. Schwan's gaze shifted to Xiaolun. She smiled. I'm counting on you. In her arms, it nodded. Definitely, you can rest assured. Since Xiaolun has agreed to Dai's request, you don't need to ask. We will do our best. Schwan replied, Thank you. Having received its help, Schwan said to Little Black Egg, Next, I want to talk to you two privately. She looked at its bewildered expression and sighed. Some secrets about the egg-shaped world that my husband, Yao Gui, learned about. With that, Schwan looked at Di. He seemed to understand, went outside, and closed the door. She had just returned from a mission and saw Dai, Dongnan, and Enshi outside. Dai, why are you guys outside? Isn't Schwan awake already? His hands clenched into fists, his face dark. Mom wants to talk privately with that kid. Manito was slightly startled and thought to himself, this aura is pretty much at boiling point, isn't it? Not wanting to get involved in his anger, she quickly found an excuse to leave. I just remembered I have some unfinished business. She had only taken a few steps before Dai called her back with a growl. Spar with me. Ignoring his words, she quickly ran for her life. Useless. Dai's face darkened as he looked at Dongnan, that defeated opponent over there. Didn't you want a rematch before? Do you want to fight now? He didn't know what was going on, but if there was a challenge, he would fight. Bring it on. A moment later, he and Black Egg came out from behind the curtain. Damn. So they were the first group of humans to be thrown into this egg-shaped world. And the one pulling the strings behind them is the mysterious him. What the hell? As he walked, Xiaoloon was lost in his own thoughts. Is this him character using the known of life, this egg-shaped world, to raise food? Food? Thinking of something, his footsteps unconsciously stopped. Food. Could it be that we are the food? That's right, the eggs. I remember the red egg soldier said that white eggs are food. In his head, Xiaoloon involuntarily recalled Yao Tien's face. You human. You should have noticed that everyone around you are white eggs, right? They are food. I, the red egg, am a red egg soldier. You, black egg, are the anomaly. He immediately understood. So that's what it meant. A shrill sound interrupted Xiaoloon's train of thought. Looking over, Di and Dong Nan were walking towards them. Xiaoloon looked at them and asked quizzically, "By the way, where did you guys go just now?" He replied, "Just killing some time." But he suddenly noticed the bruise on his face. Dong Nan quickly turned his face away to hide it, not letting him see. But Xiaoloon, with his sharp eyes, walked forward. "Hey Dong Nan, why does your face look more swollen?" He avoided the question. "No, it's just your imagination. By the way, that backpack on your chest?" Xiaoloon replied, "It's from Schwan. She gave it to me to hold the key." Seeing that he was about to leave, he quickly called out, "Oh right, Dai, don't go. Auntie Schwan said she wants you to come in for a bit." Without turning his head, he walked on without stopping, his voice firm. "No need. It's time for us to set off." Looking at his retreating back, Xiaoloon couldn't help himself. "Dai, don't leave just yet. Auntie Schwan probably has something very important to tell you." Dai glanced back, his face still sullen and angry. "Huh? Important? Something important? Hasn't she already told an outsider like you? What else is there to talk about?" Hearing his tone, Xiaoloon immediately realized, what's this guy sulking about? Both Black Egg and I could tell. When Auntie Schwan asked to talk to us privately, it was all because she was worried about you, you idiot. Dai turned his head back. The corner of his lip curled up sarcastically. "You, Xiaoloon, why don't you just go be her son then? After all, this biological son is just an outsider." He clenched his fists, muttering, "You're unbelievable," he said loudly. "Huh? I can't hear you." A little louder. Unable to hold back any longer, Xiaoloon roared, "I'm talking about you, you idiot, you little kid. What's with the attitude, huh? Is it so great to have a mother who loves you? What's with the show?" When Dai heard the words idiot and little kid, it felt like a stab to the heart. Dong Nan and Enchi stood there with bewildered expressions. He let out a yell and immediately lunged at him. "Huh? Xiaoloon, you dare call me a little kid? You're asking for it." He calmly waved his hand. It looked gentle, but it knocked Dai's hand away. "What's with this Xiaoloon guy? How could he so easily slap my hand away?" Dai observed intently. The power gathered in the palm of his hand. Strange. The energy overflowing from his hand is more than double what it is when he transforms. Is it because the emotional fluctuation increases, this energy flow? Xiaoloon's angry shout echoed. Someone who only knows how to make his mother worry and cry isn't a little kid. Then what is he? Dee sneered and retorted contemptuously. "I can make my mom worry? I'm this strong. How can I make her worry? And you say she cries. My mom is the strongest. Before, she never cries. In front of other people. What the hell are you talking about?" He chuckled, his eyes and smile exuding coldness. "Really? Whether she cries or not, why don't you go in and see for yourself? Won't that make it clear?" As soon as he heard that, he immediately rushed to her room. "Wait, I'll deal with you later." Black Egg was confused. "Xiaone, how did you just release that energy?" Looking at his own hand, Xiaoloon replied via telepathy. "When I was little, I went through a strange phase. My strength was much greater than other kids. But after I found out the people raising me were an elderly couple, this strange strength naturally disappeared. It only just reappeared." It giggled, laughing and praising him at the same time. "Xiaone, so you were that awesome as a kid?" Seeing Xiaoloon frown, his eyes showing a hint of annoyance. "In the human world, being too powerful can get you killed. It's better to be a little dumb to seem less aggressive." Hearing that, Black Egg was confused, its head full of question marks. "Huh?" As soon as he entered, Dai shouted, "Mom, what's the rush?" Seeing her lying there peacefully, he frowned. "I really was tricked by that kid." She looked at Dai, her eyes full of gentle love. "Are you still angry with Mom?" He shook his head. "No." Schwan replied, "D, do you remember that day? You were also angry with Mom and ran outside by yourself? Mom didn't know you were preparing a birthday present for her." His eyes widened as he recalled a childhood memory. A young Dai ran off in a huff, searching. "Mom is an idiot! Couldn't you have waited a little longer before leaving? I've been secretly preparing this gift for over half a month. I can't just leave it behind." As he was walking, he heard shouting from behind. "Where are you trying to take me? We're not doing anything!" The child cried out in fear. "Mommy!" They said, "Don't be afraid. It's just a routine check. If you cooperate, you can get a Ying coin." The subordinate next to him saw his leader was distracted. What's wrong? He quickly ran after Dai. That little brat looks a bit like Lord Crow's description. I'm going to confirm. When he reached a fork, he quickly turned. Dai had long sensed someone was following him. He smirked. Wanna chase me? Let's see if you have what it takes. The man hid around a corner. Seeing Dai was a good distance away, he followed. While he was running, a figure as fast as a flash shot past. Schwan's hair pierced through his heart. She maintained her speed, speeding away while looking back to check. Seeing the man fall to the ground, Schwan left. She hurriedly chased after Dai, shouting, Dai, stop messing around. Ya has chased us all the way here. We have to leave quickly, he replied. I'm just grabbing something really quick from my secret base. Hearing this, she paused, puzzled. Secret base? Not noticing that behind her, the blood from where Schwan had stabbed the man was spreading. In an instant, a small sprout emerged. Dai led her to a gloomy cave. Who would have thought that beneath this small cave entrance lay such a scene? This is the secret base that Dai mentioned? He nodded. I followed a rabbit and found this place. Watching Dai mysteriously walk over to get something, Dai, what did you hide here? He didn't hide his annoyance and replied, I know we're about to leave this place, but I've been preparing this gift for a long time. Dai's small hand took a porous stone out of the cloth bag. Schwan's eyes widened as she stared at it. The whole cave suddenly lit up, making her gasp in awe. It's so beautiful. You put luminous stones inside, didn't you? Inside the stone, he had also placed luminous stones. Dee blushed, shyly turned away, and mumbled, I was supposed to show this to Mom 2 days from now. Schwan, touched, hugged him tightly. Thank you, Dai. Mom loves this gift. His eyes suddenly noticed something in her hair. Mom, on your hair. On the lock of hair from earlier, a speck of blood remained. Schwan held up the lock of hair, her expression darkening. We're in trouble, Dai. Our whereabouts may have been discovered. He was confused. It's just moving blood? Without hesitating, she pulled it off with her hand. I heard that this new Yao Gui's tracking skills are incredible. It's possible he's using the blood to track our position. Let's go. Quickly. Dee happily held out his hand and suggested, Mom, give me the blood-stained hair. This cave is complicated. I'm not sure if he can find us through this. Hearing that, she was a bit skeptical but still handed it over. The sound of hurried footsteps echoed in the forest. A snap of the fingers broke the silence. The whole group stopped immediately. Dana looked at the small plant in his hand and said, Here. Wang He, sitting on Enyong's back, asked him, Master, where does here point to? Dana pointed down and replied, Below. Under our feet? He immediately understood. Oh, so that's how it is. Wang He had just jumped down, when he saw a small hole in the ground, so there's a small cave hidden here. Zhao Ji looked at Dana and asked respectfully, Lord Yao Gui, do you need this humble one to help punch a bigger hole? Or just collapse this place directly, so they die inside? He answered calmly, No need. I want them alive. Looking down at the small hole, Dana felt intrigued. To be able to counter-kill the previous Ya Gui. It seems she's more suited for this oracle bone than a Schwan. Interesting. Then, a dangerous smile appeared on his face. Let me test you. Let's go, sister-in-law. Half an hour later, Wang He was chasing Dee. Kid, I don't have time to play hide-and-seek with you. He said provocatively, who's playing with whom isn't certain yet. Dai held out his hand, gathering power. Then he shot 2 beams of light towards Wang He. However, he managed to dodge them. Watching the 2 beams hit the tree branch behind him, Wang, he sneered. Hey, not bad, kid. But before Dai could react, he had already jumped behind him. He held Dai tightly. My skills are a level above, you know. Then, in the next second, a smile appeared on his face. Is that so, Wang? He was stunned. He realized he had only caught an illusion. Dai asked, Are you having fun? Looking at the empty space in front of him, he got angry. Damn it, I got played. Looking back, Wang He suddenly wondered, I wonder if the one with Master is also a clone. Yu Yuan, while running, asked Dai, What's the situation with your clone? He replied, One of them has been fooled. The other one is very cunning and isn't following. But it's okay. We still have 2 clones behind us. If he chases us, we'll definitely know. She asked worriedly, Dai, don't push yourself, okay? Mom isn't weak either. Dai smiled and replied, I know Mom is very powerful, but your new skill isn't weak either. Suddenly, a sound made Yuan pause. She immediately looked up with a wary gaze. Dana jumped up, dodging her attack. Yuan looked up and said cautiously, Stop hiding. Come on out. Dai was startled and bewildered. How is this possible? He escaped my clone up there and followed me here? Dana landed and began to bow. Sister-in-law, it's a pleasure to meet you for the first time. Hello. I am Dana. I was once under the care of brother, Schwan. I am also the crow fiend of the giant world, the new manager number 16. Yuan immediately waved her hand in denial. I don't know you. Don't call me sister-in-law. Dai, you go outside first. Leave this to your mother. He slowly walked over, acting magnanimous. No need to go. No need to go. I've come to discuss peace. Yuan stood in front of Dee and yelled, What peace talk? Stop your trickery. He then ran up from behind his mother. She turned back, looking urgent. Dai, why haven't you left yet? Go now! Hearing that, he immediately turned and ran. Got it. Dai kept recalling Yuan's instructions. Dai, Mom is very strong. She's never lost. So you have to listen to me. When I'm fighting, you can't be there. You can't become my weakness. At the time, he had firmly asserted, Don't worry, Mom. I won't become your weakness. Meanwhile, Dai affirmed in his heart, Mom, I won't become your weakness. Dana continued to walk forward slowly. Sister-in-law, please listen to me. But she just coldly snapped, Cut the crap. As soon as she finished, her hair attacked him, but he dodged it. Yuan got angry. Let's see where you can run now. Her hair relentlessly attacked him. While blocking, Dana exclaimed, Your combat power is truly extraordinary. But it's time to extinguish your fire. A few drops of blood dripped from his finger. Next was a surprise attack that sent Yuan flying into the wall behind her. Dee cowered in a corner, holding his head and trembling. Mom is the strongest. Mom will win. Mom is the strongest. The strongest! Suddenly, the sound of footsteps startled him. Quickly, Dai took a defensive stance. Who is it? Yuan emerged from behind the rock wall, covered in injuries. Dai, it's me. Seeing it was her, he ran out happily. Mom, you won! Yuan smiled and patted Dee's head. I won. Then Dai noticed her injuries. He became worried. Mom, your leg is injured. She gently reassured her son. I'm fine. He argued worriedly. What do you mean? You're fine? Yuan continued to soothe him. I know you care about me, but I'm really okay. Dai looked up at her, tears streaming down his face. Mom, in the future, I'll become strong, very, very strong. So, in the future, when you fight, don't make me leave, okay? Okay. Yuan bent down and gently wiped his tears. When you grow up and can beat me, then I won't make you leave, okay? Dai immediately nodded. Okay. Then Dai turned his back. I'll carry you, Mom. Yuan laughed. You silly child, you're still so small, how can you carry me? He stubbornly insisted. I'm really strong. She smiled and said, All right, when you're grown up and I'm old, then you can carry me on trips. We'll go here and eat there. How about that? Dai's face lit up. Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun. It's a promise then. The two held hands and walked, chatting happily. Mom, where do you want to go the most? What do you want to eat the most right now? I'll make a plan. Silly boy, it'll be a long time until you're grown up. We can think about it slowly and plan it slowly. I want to know now. Tell me, please. All right, my little treasure. Yuan lay in bed, looked at Dai, and spoke seriously. Dai, I know we've made it this far, and it hasn't been easy. I also know you hate crow fiends. You can't bring yourself to accept that your father is a crow fiend. He helplessly cut her off. Mom, if you want to talk about that person, then just drop it. Seeing Dai about to leave, Yuan quickly said, Dai, if your father hadn't brought the bone sphere to me when I was dying, neither I, nor you in my womb, would have survived. I never told you because you were too young at the time. I was afraid you'd ask too many questions and get dragged into it. Dai whipped around, his voice questioning. What do you mean, afraid of getting dragged into it? Aren't we already dragged into it? Otherwise, we wouldn't have been hunted for the past 10+ years. She then took out a small box-shaped object and revealed, and they've always been hunting us. On the surface, it's to retrieve the bone sphere from my back. But really, it's because of this. Dai asked blankly. What's in it? Yuan explained. You know that anomalies are based on egg forms, evolving through the support of a sugar-like substance. She seemed to guess what Dai wanted to ask. Could it be? She immediately answered, That's right. Inside is candy. The rare active form from the central region. The life dilution. He took the object. Took active form? He asked. Yuan gently entrusted it to Dai. Now you are stronger than me. Your father's belongings are now for you to protect. Only things from the central region can fight against him. In a serious tone, Yuan continued, The path to becoming stronger, perhaps is the only way for you to escape your fate. Hearing this, Dai was stunned. Yuan sighed and slowly explained, I once tried to hand this over in exchange for you, to have a lifetime of peace from being involved. But the reality is that the secret struggles among the crow fiends have long since put us on the razor's edge. Looking at Dai, Yuan's eyes became steely. We have no choice. We can only keep fighting, and then become stronger, even stronger. Dai looked at the object in his hand and clenched it. He then put it in the pouch on his hip and went outside. He spoke to Xiaolun and Dongnan. It's getting late. Let's get moving and find the Ying Hua. Dai's eyes turned cold, his tone confident. Then we'll crush this giant world to pieces. Xiaolun looked at him and smiled. This guy has finally gotten his spirit back. In the next hour, they went to 3 places looking for the Du Shu's Ying Hua, but found no trace of it. Xiaolun examined the giant egg and whispered, Dai, the scent of this condensed egg is so strong. Are you sure you guys can't smell it? If giants follow the scent here, we'll be in trouble. Dai replied, it's fine. I can't smell it. So, how could those guys smell it? As we were heading back to check the 4th location, we discovered a giant, moving, rock slab. Dai put his hand inside and pulled out a blue branch. Xiaolun stared blankly at the branch. Where's the flower? Dai also looked at it in surprise. It hasn't even sprouted yet. Damn it. If not even the pistil has grown, the Ying Hua will need at least another half a year. He became worried. Half a year. Then we can only wait and nurture it first. He frowned. Half a year is too long. Mom's leg is already severely corroded. We can't wait. Suddenly, the rock slab shook. Before they could even react, something shot up from under the rock and attacked Dai. He quickly jumped up, dodging the hand that suddenly emerged. Dee backed away, recognizing the familiar figure. Wang. He was sitting on Fanla's hand, and he looked at them with a mocking tone. Not bad, Fanla. You chose a flowerless Du Shu as bait. It was indeed suitable. The giant humbly replied, My lord, you are the brilliant one. To be able to distinguish the scent of the condensed egg, and then use that strong scent to predict where they would go. That's how we could set the bait in advance. Wang, he replied, well, they also had to be persistent enough, failing to find the flower several times without giving up. Dai looked at them angrily. Setting a trap for us? It's more like you're digging your own graves. Wang, he laughed contemptuously. Kid, it's been years and you're still so cocky. So he suddenly remembered and recognized him. You're that idiot from back then. Hearing this, Fanla got angry. You worm! How dare you be so disrespectful to the great crow fiend? Dai looked at Wang He and sneered. What? This idiot became a crow fiend? Just anyone can be a crow fiend? No wonder crow fiends are all so terrible, just like your master. In the end, didn't he die at my mother's hands? Yes, Wang, he replied nonchalantly. Unfortunately, my master has a lot of lives. With a mobile blood bank like me, how could he die so easily? You guys are really something. Thanks to your mother, we were demoted, becoming trash in the eyes of the other crow fiends. But then, a murderous aura emanated from Wang He. Now we're back, and we'll use you as a warm-up first. Di cautiously requested of Fang Xiaolun, you take the Du Shu, I'll cover you. Then you and Dongnan get out of here first. He frowned. Dai, don't make me do things that already sound unpleasant. He ignored Xiaolun's protest, and shoved the branch into Xiaolun's hand. No nonsense. Take it. Dongnan also looked at him and advised, this guy's stubbornness has its limits. Dai turned to him. He and Mom are like that. The survivors don't hold back the strong. Dongnan was instantly stunned. I'm holding them back? Wang He laughed slyly. You guys, stop dawdling. Wanting to let 2 anomaly eggs leave this place? It's not that easy. Get past us first. Suddenly, giant figures surrounded them. Oh, right. As for my master, I think he's probably on his way to your mother's place now. That will surely be quite a reunion. He looked up, startled, his worry evident. What did you say? Wang He said casually. Kid, did you know? His master is very much looking forward to meeting your long-lost mother? Dai quickly denied it. Bullshit. It's not that easy for him to find my mother. Don't tell me. The bloodline tracking ability? But he said, bloodline tracking is only secondary. The important thing is the Lord who is with my master. His abilities are not something ordinary people, like us, can imagine. A suspicion arose in Xiaolun's mind. Is the Lord he's talking about the same he that Aunt Schwan mentioned? He immediately said to Dai, we're screwed, Dai. We have to get back quickly. This time, we'll cover you. Although he didn't want to, he could only comply. Damn it. Alright. Quickly, the 3 of them looked for a way out. Meanwhile, Dai gave a silent signal to Xiaolun and Dongnan. They understood his meaning. After a silent exchange of glances, Dai rushed forward, drawing the attention of Fanla and Wang He. 2 streams of blue light appeared in Dongnan's hands. He then attacked Fanla's line of sight below. After handing the branch to the black egg, Xiaoloon went to the giant's leg and held on tight. He then channeled electricity into it, causing Fanla to kneel. The giant roared angrily. "You damn worm! Where is the Lord?" One of them was about to attack him. Xiaoloon immediately used his skill to control him, and ordered, "Go attack the other giants for me." That one left. He turned and asked the black egg, "Black egg, if I adjust the control time to 5 minutes, how many can you control?" It hurriedly replied, "Because your childhood power has returned, I can control 3 of them." As he ran to another spot, Xiaoloon asked, "By the way, we control the Dushu now, so why can't we make it bloom immediately?" The black egg answered, "Making it bloom is not within the scope of my current abilities. I can't do it." Suddenly, 3 others rushed in to attack him. The 3 of them charged simultaneously, intending to crush Xiaoloon and the black egg. Dai looked back worriedly at Fang Xiaoloon. Wang he rushed forward, preparing to attack him. "Kid, you noticed, didn't you? He's our real target." Dai dodged but was still puzzled. While preparing for the next attack, he explained, "When we were tracking your movements, I happened to discover a drawing on the ground. In the drawing, it marked the central region of the life, dilution." He clenched his fists, understanding. "So that's what this is about." Looking at Dai's clones, he remarked, "Even the Lord doesn't know the location of this region. I never expected to discover this top-secret intel. So, kid, don't stand in my way." Leaving a clone to hold back Wang He, he ran to help Xiaoloon. "Sorry, but I enjoy standing in your way." He didn't rush to stop him, but calmly asked, "Oh, a 5th clone. So, what's your limit?" Suddenly, Dai froze. A light green net prevented Dai from moving any further. "What is this?" This net enveloped both Wang He and Dai's clones. He said smugly, "This is a new ability the Bone Sphere granted me, Spatial Seal. To break it, only the energy corresponding to the Bone Sphere can do it." He turned back and mocked, "You really underestimate me. Foolish." Wang, he spread his arms arrogantly. "Right. You're still hoping for the 2 clones outside the seal, aren't you? Take a good look at their situation before you act so cocky, kid. My sword can also, according to my will, seal a space." Seeing his other 2 clones also trapped, he was stunned. "My blade, Wang, his sword is over there." Dai couldn't help but wonder, when did this sword leave his side? Wang He explained nonchalantly, "The first time you used your clone. Your ability, though impressive, once I knew your ability, I had a countermeasure. You're trapped." At this point, Dai couldn't help but feel a bit panicked. On the other side, after a moment of silence, they exchanged words. "No more movement. They must be crushed to death, right? Slowly let go and let's see." Dong Nan yelled and rushed over. "You guys, get off of Fang Xiaoloon." Between the 3 of them, a small spark of electricity flashed. Then, a series of electric shocks were released, pushing them back. He knelt on the ground, shielding the black egg and the poisonous branch underneath. Seeing him sit up, it quickly asked, "Han Xiaoluo, are you okay?" Xiaoloon replied, I'm fine. While no one was paying attention, a drop of Xiaoloon's blood fell onto the poisonous branch. The branch immediately vibrated, startling the black egg. "What's wrong with it?" Quickly, a small flower bud sprouted from the branch. Seeing it, he joyfully exclaimed, "Dai, the Dushu has bloomed!" These words made both Dai and Wang he look over. How? How is that possible? Without hesitation, he hurriedly asked for help. Fang Xiaoloon, "Great. Please take the Ying Hua to my mother." Holding the poisonous branch firmly, Xiaoloon affirmed, "Don't worry. I will definitely deliver the Ying Hua to Aunt Schwan." Dana, sitting on his hand, turned and asked him, "My lord, it seems from this point on, it's no longer suitable for giants to go, and my bloodline tracking can only track up to here." After hearing this, Rente turned with some interest and called out, "Yes, Dana, your bone sphere's abilities haven't been fully tapped. Forget it, give it here." Seeing this, he said, "I'm very sorry, my lord, for having to trouble you to read its memories." He then called for someone to bring it over immediately. "Little soldier, bring it here." "Yes, Lord Crowfiend." The little soldier followed the order and brought the precious item to Rente. He sat on the hand and used a spoon to enjoy this delicacy. The food was brought over, and Rente immediately took a scoop to taste it. As soon as he took a bite, he couldn't help but exclaim, "The taste of a human-beast hybrid is truly awful." Hearing this, Dana was remorseful, and said, "I'm sorry, my lord, for making you suffer." After learning this, Rente also understood. I see it. The memory before this merman was synthesized. The woman, named Schwan, is considered a beauty in the eyes of you humans. After saying that, he smiled unconsciously, which confused him. Then Rente stood up and shouted, "Wings!" A pair of wings appeared right behind him. Having these wings, Rente turned to show off. I should get my body moving too. Come on, Dana. As he was being carried, he politely said thanks again. Sorry to trouble you, my lord. The two of them supported each other as they walked somewhere. Over here, Xiaoloon took out the egg he was carrying. While holding it, he thought for a moment. Black egg. Now that we're controlling the butterfly, we're definitely a lot faster. But can we go any faster? The black egg then reported, I've already added your own power. This is the fastest we can go. Hearing this announcement, Xiaolun had to go even faster, thinking, damn it, it seems impossible to get there faster than him. We have to think of a way to deal with him. The egg saw this and turned to report, Xiaoluo. Actually, when we were at the ruins, I unconsciously scouted the place. I discovered that in those ruins, there are still many hidden passages. I'll resonate them into your mind. Let's check them out together. Following the instructions, he suddenly saw them and was a bit surprised. I see them. There really are a lot of secret passages. Seeing him in such a hurry, the egg followed and asked, What's wrong? Xiaolun had discovered something strange and hurried, saying, There are 2 secret passages in Aunt Schwan's room. Quan Ni. Over here, when Schwan woke up, there was no one there. And she asked, a bit confused, Quan He? That's strange. After all this, why isn't Quan He back yet? Manito rushed in and cried out, Miss Schwan, this is bad. Seeing her so frantic, she asked, a little confused, What's wrong? Did something happen to Dai and the others? I didn't follow them because he told me to stay and look after you. Listen to me. The information vines I left outside the ruins, in a flash, lost their signal simultaneously. I can confirm that someone has infiltrated. Knowing this, Schwan froze for a moment. Manito fearfully reported the dangerous situation. To be able to destroy my information vines in an instant, this intruder is definitely not simple. She couldn't sit still any longer and stood up, asking, What's wrong? She recounted the dangerous situation. The fireflies that were establishing communication with me earlier were all wiped out. The intruder has reached the entrance. After hearing this, she understood a little, and became lost in thought. It seems the one who truly wants to take my life has arrived. After careful consideration, Schwan made a decision. Manito. Go and inform everyone to leave the ruins from North Mountain. Manito heard the order and agreed, I'll go and come back. She followed the order, and immediately ran outside to carry out the mission. But as Manito just got out, a loud noise swept past her, causing Manito to worry and look back towards the other room. She rushed back to find Miss Schwan. Why did you use your head to seal the door from the inside? She was on guard and said back, Schwan thinks they're targeting me. You lead everyone away from here. Quickly. Manito didn't listen and stubbornly said, No, Schwan, let's go together. There's still some distance to the entrance. She refused and shouted, Go, 12 lives will die here. Having no other choice, she had to obey. I know. After I've arranged for the others, I will come back. Don't push yourself too hard. After saying that, she ran off to inform everyone there. And Schwan, who stayed behind, was very calm. She closed her eyes and waited for them to come. A moment later, someone's footsteps were approaching this place. It turned out to be Dana and Rente who had found this place. Hearing these footsteps, she was startled awake. She used her hair to shatter the pieces of the wall there. As soon as she shattered it, the other 2 walked in, but saw no one. Looking inside, only strands of hair remained. Dana turned to ask, My lord, it seems she has escaped. But Rente realized something and chuckled. Is that so? The moment they realized it, Schwan also used her hair to attack that spot. Schwan, hiding behind the bed, peeked out to see who it was. It's him! But he wasn't scared at all and laughed. Unleashing his power, he slowly advanced. Using his wings, he slowly moved forward, finding where she was hiding. Furthermore, Rente used his 3 eyes to advance and say, Found you? Schwan, at this point, didn't know what to do but sit. In anxiety, he used the eyes on his wings to look at her and praised, Truly a beauty among humans. I have absolutely no chance of winning a duel against him. It seems today is my last day. Dai, you must live well. Unexpectedly, Xiaolun called out to Schwan's location. Auntie Schwan, can you hear me talking? Aunt Schwan heard this familiar voice, and asked back, Xiaolun? He also confirmed with Schwan, It's me, Xiaolun. Through the black egg. I've established a connection with your bone sphere. Don't be afraid, Auntie. The black egg is right below you. Seeing Xiaolun, she worriedly asked about the situation. Why are you all back? Is Dai with you? He also recounted the situation, and gave her a little update. Dai has temporarily run into a small problem, but it's okay, he'll be here soon. He asked us to bring the Ying Hua to you. Aunt Schwan tried to stop him. Don't let Xiaolun come to this dangerous place. No, you can't come. Xiaolun, you all should go too, quickly. Trust me, Auntie can handle this. Xiaolun didn't care, and promised Aunt Schwan, I will definitely fulfill what I promised Dai. So you don't need to worry, Auntie. Through that, he also had some instructions for Schwan. Auntie, you just need to do as I say. Move 2 meters behind you and rendezvous with the black egg. Hearing the reminder, she also looked back at the 2 meters behind her. As they were about to attack Schwan again, there was suddenly a noise from above. There was a constant loud noise on the ceiling, running back and forth. Rente looked up and asked, puzzled, is there a little mouse inside? Just as he went to check the situation, something struck down from above towards him. Rente looked up and realized something, sensing something, playing mysterious. So, you're right above my head. Wait, this aura. Shaman transformation. Xiaolun was up there, looking down and thinking, Aunt Schwan, move 2 meters behind you now. Schwan looked up and was startled to see him. Xiaolun, why did you make yourself the bait? Seeing her fear, Xiaolun confidently said, don't worry about me. After you drink the Ying Hua to detoxify, follow the black egg through the secret passage to leave here. Auntie, you also know I have the ability to control others. After I control him, I will quickly rendezvous with you. She looked up, wanting to hold him back but couldn't, only able to encourage him. I know, no matter how I advise you, you will still do it. Okay, after I detoxify, we will fight side by side. Okay. He was happy to be supported and agreed. Okay, we'll fight side by side. Dana saw this and stepped forward to volunteer, saying, my lord, leave the one above to me. But he stopped him. No, Dana, can't you feel it? That is the special aura of the progenitor type candy. Hearing this, he was a bit confused and asked back, progenitor type? Rente also explained about it. The intel you told me about the rare candy with an active form is referring to the kid up there, right? But he still wanted to try a little. I'm sorry, my lord. I'm not too sure. Seeing this, he sounded surprised, but Rente didn't care and spread his wings. Then he took off and rushed forward. It's fine. Let's catch him and have a taste. Then we'll know, right? Xiaolun saw this and also sensed something. He was also ready to run forward, thinking, he really did chase me here. Seeing him continuously following like this, Xiaolun also found it strange. Such a narrow space. Is he going to just barge through? As he ran, he tried to find a way to fight. My combat state can be maintained for half an hour. I have to hold him off quickly, then use the corrosive energy to escape. But I don't know how long I can control him. I hope it's not just a few seconds that the black egg is worried about. After thinking, Xiaolun accelerated, putting all his strength into his legs to run. This acceleration of his helped him to quickly weave through very smoothly. Seeing this speed, Rente became even more interested. The thrill of hunting live prey. It's been a while. I have to control my strength to keep him from dying too soon. Meanwhile, Tuen is injured, but she's still trying to drag herself away. Dana returns to the room, looking for his sister-in-law, hiding in a corner, not making a sound. Do you still recognize me? But he stops short when he sees the scene in the room. He searches every nook and cranny but can't find her and wonders, where is she? Could there be a secret passage? Dana stubbornly keeps searching every corner of the room. Meanwhile, she has successfully escaped, guided by the black egg. Aunt Tuen. After you drank the Yinghua, how do you feel? Tuen feels her own leg and replies, my leg feels a little numb. Hearing this, the black egg hesitates. Was the dosage not enough? There's still one more flower here. But she refuses. One flower was enough. Leave this one for Dai. Unexpectedly, the black egg sprinkles the flower on her injured leg. Just wait a bit. Just a moment later, her bandages are miraculously removed from her leg. Auntie, look, it's working. Elsewhere, Rente is still relentlessly in pursuit. He attacks towards Xiaolun, but then he is able to perfectly weave and successfully dodge. Immediately after, Xiaolun runs off to another location. Seeing his tactic, Rente becomes interested. So that's how it is. Your blood is full of the scent of Kafuno black candy. Hearing something so strange, Xiaolun turns back and asks, Kafuno black candy? He explains about it, saying, this is the fruit of the ancient tree of life, the oldest of them all. In that case, it seems, you must be a descendant of the Bing God clan, the first to live in the incubator of life. Confused, he asks Rente back, the clan that first lived in the egg-shaped world? This egg-shaped world, Didn't you guys build and manipulate it? But he denies it and says again, no, no, no. The incubator of life is just a vessel that gives birth to life that we happen to seize. Many places here. We still have to explore through you people. Xiaoloon approaches and asks about something else. The vessel that gives birth to life? But unexpectedly, Renti smiles and changes his attitude. The vessel that gives birth to life. Its most valuable aspect was letting us discover that delicious, fragrant existence. Xiaoloon speaks with disgust. What delicious existence? All you do are disgusting things. Long Eye smiles. You humans. Don't you also raise livestock to eat? In essence, you're no different from us. Xiaoloon is speechless, thinking, damn it, I have no way to refute him. A voice calls out in his mind, Slick. Slick? He replies. Black egg? What is it? It reports the situation. Aunt Tuen has been successfully detoxified. Her leg has fully recovered. He urges, that's great. Follow the plan. Get her out of there immediately. The black egg replies, she refuses to go. She wants to go up and fight with you. Slick, how are things on your end? Xiaoloon lies. Black egg, tell Aunt Tuen I've escaped. It immediately exposes him. But Slick, we can still talk. You must still be within 300 meters. You can't lie. He confesses, Black egg, actually, Aunt Tuen and Dee have long since rekindled the hope in my heart. The hope in my heart, the hope that my real mother is still alive. So, I hope Aunt Tuen lives well. It replies, I know, I'll make her believe you've gone far. You be careful. He quietly agrees. Here, it and Aunt Tuen move quickly. She asks, Black egg, the passage. We're going in the opposite direction of Xiaoloon now. Where's our meeting point? The black egg leads the way and answers, the number of secret tunnels in these ruins is beyond what we can imagine. The meeting point is 500 meters away. She immediately notices something is off. Black egg, you really can't lie. Even though I don't know the secret passages, I've been here for years, after all. Then she demands they stop. It breaks into a sweat, thinking, I screwed up. She questions it. Tell me, has Xiaoloon not escaped successfully yet? It tries to cover up. I'm not sure right now. We're not within 300 meters. She says worriedly. Black egg, I know you're doing this for my own good, but I can't let Xiaoloon be in danger because of me. A scream rings out. Help! Help! Like a flash, Tuen darts towards where the voice came from. The black egg and Tuen crawl through an underground pipe and see a group of people fleeing. A girl in the group has her arm tightly wrapped by a strange, long, thin purple object. The black egg exclaims, What is that? She observes the situation and says, I once heard my husband say, he can separate his organs from within his large wings. I think they're called eye orbs. It repeats in amazement, eye orbs? Tuen uses her hair to attack the eye orbs. While cursing, damn it, they nimbly evade her attack. Seeing this, the black egg exclaims, the eye orbs completely dodge the attack. She jumps down, standing protectively in front of the group. They are surprised by her appearance, and shout, Tuen. She wonders, what's going on? Didn't you follow Mei Ni and Nuo through the North Mountain Passage to leave? Two girls in the group immediately recount the situation. The exit to the North Mountain path was blocked by these monsters. And there are too many of these monsters. Mei Ni and Nuo couldn't handle them. Tuen is extremely surprised. Only a few of us insiders. And knew about the North Mountain exit. How did he find out and even set up an ambush? A voice rings out from behind them. That's because the master ate the brain of your important Dodomrad. The person who just appeared is Dana, he continues. Then I gave him the idea to set up the ambush. Tuen is furious. It was you! Are you trying to avenge your previous humiliation? He retorts, No, 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 I'm here to make a deal. She repeats in surprise, A deal? He gets straight to the point. The rare Huotai candy. I don't believe you'd use it on a mere human. It must be that pitch-black guy, the one whose body is overflowing with energy. She thinks to herself, could he think the energy on Xiaoloon comes from the Huotai candy? No wonder he's hunting him to the ends of the earth. Dana speaks up. Where is the master? He's very interested in that kid. But I know that's not it, right? Tuen shouts. What do you really want? He makes a proposal. Let's resonate the rare Huotai candy. Find the location of the central region and deal with him together. Tuen is suspicious. Deal with him? Did I hear that right? Dana says in a low voice. We are no different from livestock managed by them. Tuen doesn't believe him. I won't be fooled. You're all in the same gang. Dana holds his head in anger. He recounts, the first time I hunted you, I was indeed working my butt off for him. But did you know? After the hunt failed, half of my brain was eaten by him. What? He continues. At that moment, my thinking underwent a huge change. Tuen is half convinced, half skeptical. She confirms, is what you're saying true? Wait. You're saying this in front of the eye orbs. Aren't you afraid he'll find out? He calmly explains, the eye orbs are his direct organs. The eye orbs don't have a hearing function. They can't hear our conversation. Long AI laughs loudly, appearing behind him. It's true, my eye orbs have this weakness. Tuen, seeing him appear, shouts, Xiaoloon, because she sees him choking, an unconscious Xiaoloon in his hand. He sneers, but Dana, you don't know. I've already had my fun with this kid. Dana instantly loses his nerve, stammering, Master. He snaps his fingers. In just a few seconds, Long Eye swiftly eliminates Dana. He says, don't you humans have a word called ingratitude? It really suits this guy. Tuen yells, let Xiaoloon go now. If you want the skull bone, come after me. He scoffs. Did I go to all this trouble just for one skull bone? She offers a condition. So it is for the rare Huotai candy. Let Xiaoloon go first. After that, whatever you want to ask or do is up to you. Long Eye cruelly replies to her, but I'm tired of playing. Interrogating is too troublesome. Isn't reading it directly quicker and neater? Tuen is a bit confused. Read what directly? He points to his own head and explains, with extreme cruelty, it means prying open your brain and eating the delicious marrow inside. Both Tuen and the black egg are utterly horrified by this method. He licks his lips while assessing the marrow that has utilized the skull bone to its limit. Tasting it must be heavenly. The black egg frantically calls out, what should we do? Slick! Wake up! Slick! It screams relentlessly. Slick! Can you hear me talking? Slick! Long Eye swings his arm and throws Xiaoloon. Unconscious, he tumbles to the ground. Tuen then uses her brainwaves to communicate with the black egg. Is Xiaoloon okay? It silently checks and replies to her. Slick is still in a combat state. He probably just fainted. It's not life-threatening. She comes up with a plan. Then I'm relieved. You find a chance to get him out of here. Tuyen's hair attacks him relentlessly, but it doesn't harm him in the slightest. Are you trying to scratch an itch? How boring. I told you. I'm tired of playing. Like lightning, he grabs Tuen by the neck. Her hair struggles, attacking him ceaselessly. The black egg shouts in fear, let her go! He speaks nonchalantly. The skull bone's stress response will make the marrow turn sour. Fine. I'll take out the skull bone first. He looks at Tuyen's expression and continues, don't panic. The moment I pull out the skull bone, I will simultaneously pry open your cerebral cortex. Long Eye smiles. The pain will only last about 10 seconds. She begins to suffocate. She thinks to herself, die, Mom has to go now. You must live well. When Xiaoloon comes to, he jumps up and pulls at the hand Long AI has tightly around Tuyen's neck. He is slightly surprised, but he immediately recovers and smiles. You're getting in the way. He flings his arm down hard. The difference in strength and height between the two is obvious, but he still tries to hold on tightly to his arm. The wings on his back grab and slam him to the ground, so hard that the ground cracks. The black egg cries out worriedly. Slick! Tuen anxiously shouts, leave me, run! He retracts his wings, pretending, oops, I was a bit too rough. Then he turns to her and says, forget it, let's continue. Xiaoloon pushes himself up from the ground, trying to sit up, and with all his might, rushes towards Long Eye, grabbing his wrist just like before. Long A is furious. You brat. Tuen quickly tries to stop Xiaoloon. That's enough, Xiaoloon. He shouts, no! I can't let anything happen to you. In his heart, he anxiously pleads. Corrosive energy, please work. I'm begging you. He, losing all patience, says, so annoying. I was going to leave you, but now that's unnecessary. As he finishes, he uses his wing to pierce through Xiaoloon. Tuen and the black egg scream in horror. Slick. Xiaoloon. He returns to the main issue. All right, no more pests. He grabs Tuyen's neck and begins to extract her skull bone. A scream of pain escapes Tuyen's mouth, and with a whoosh, after the skull bone is extracted, it immediately rolls into a ball. He lifts Tuen with one hand. There's the skull. Long A sees the wound on her back. What is this? Even he is confused. Why can't I control my fingers anymore? Long Eye turns his head back. That kid? He wants to grab his own wrist to stop the shaking. Long Eye is confident in his own strength. Huh? With just this little bit of power, you want to control my body? Wang Hua takes the opportunity to mock Long Eye. I can't believe you're being toyed with by a little punk. To the point of being spun in circles. How ironic. He immediately recognizes the voice. Wang Hua. He still holds a grudge. How long has it been since we last met? Since you stole my credit in front of the king and framed me. It's been over a year, hasn't it? Long Eye is furious but can do nothing. Wang Hua, you're so petty. Now you want to commit insubordination? How dare you mess with me? Wang Hua is proud of himself. Long Eye, I'm helping you. My new ability is called Punishment. It sets up a listening device on a prisoner, allowing me to secretly hear what he hears and see what he sees. As if I were there myself. He doesn't take Wang Hua seriously. Punishment? What a joke. It's just a bunch of useless abilities. Wang Hua, hurry up and accept your punishment. Wang Hua is no pushover. The one who should be punished. Isn't it you? Long Eye feigns ignorance. Huh? He points out Long Ai's mistake. Still acting innocent. The king once ordered that any intelligence related to the rare candy must be reported immediately. Unauthorized investigation or capture is forbidden. Long Eye, you've truly committed the crime of unauthorized investigation. He dismisses Wang Hua's point. Unauthorized investigation? What nonsense. Can't you see? I'm just retrieving his skull bone. He recounts Long Eye's intention. Just now, didn't you want to pry open this woman's skull to get information about the candy? Xiaoloon leaps high into the air. He snatches Tuyen from Long Ai's hands. Wang Hua is curious when he sees him just watch them escape. Why aren't you chasing them? Don't you want to read her mind? Or do you want me to get the evidence and personally hand it over to the king? Long Eye is provoked to the point of fury. What do you really want? He is, as expected, greedy. I want you to give me the management rights to the world of the giants. Long Eye looks like he's been struck by lightning. Xiaoloon runs like the wind, leaving a trail of blood on the ground. He is extremely worried. Aunt Tuyen, how are you, Aunt Tuyen? Aunt Tuyen is ready to resign herself to fate. Xiaoloon, you silly boy, don't cry. My fate was sealed long ago. It can't be changed. He adamantly refuses. No, you're not going to die. She gently comforts him. Xiaoloon, everyone dies eventually. It's just a matter of time. Tears stream down Xiaolun's face. There has to be a way. There must be a way. Don't give up. Tuyen's concern is very simple. Right now, the one I'm most worried about is D. I'm worried he'll seek revenge because of me. He tries to run faster. Aunt Tuyen, don't talk anymore. Just rest first. But Tuyen just warns Xiaoloon. I'm begging you, promise me. Stop die. If he recklessly seeks revenge now, he'll only be throwing his life away. But Xiaoloon pretends not to hear. I won't promise. You can tell him yourself. She knows she doesn't have much time left. I don't know if I can hold on long enough to see die. He firmly asserts, you can. You definitely can. Dai is in a daze. What the hell is this? Even the secret exit in the North Mountain is blocked. Dong Nam feels the situation is unstable. This is too weird. We can't even kill them. He is stunned to see them fly away. Dong Nam questions his existence. Why did they all run away? Dai hurriedly gives chase. This is bad. There's no one here. Is my mom trapped inside? He keeps muttering. Mom. Mom! Please be okay! Mom! Although Dong Nam wants to stop him. Wait! Don't be reckless. Dai feels a sense of dread in his heart. Mom. Xiaoloon doesn't stop to rest for even a minute. He has hope of saving Tuyen. Hang in there. We're almost at the exit. Just hang in there. So Xiaoloon tries to help her keep breathing. We'll be able to see Dai very soon. The black egg also panics. Slick, don't speed up. Stop. Stop. Did you sense it just now? Xiaoloon listens to it and finally stops. I sensed it. He immediately understands. It's like when we were looking for the Yinghua flower. The thing inside Dai's bag is resonating with us. Xiaoloon shouts, D is above us. But deep in the labyrinth below, Wang Hua directly states his condition. Long Eye, as long as you hand over the management rights of the giant world to me, I can pretend I never saw anything. Long Eye figures out his intention. You want me, in front of the king, to recommend you to take over this place? Wang Hua knows the full story. Of the three worlds you manage, the giant world is the one you care about the least, isn't it? Not only can it not provide food for the king, they also possess a fatal secret. He can't understand. So what do you want with this backwater place? Wang Hua doesn't want to waste any more time. Stop making this an issue. You just need to make a decision. Either recommend me to take over this place, or admit your guilt and accept punishment. Long Eye's anger could explode at any moment. Well done, Wang Hua. He gives Long Eye the choice. Listen to me, and you can at least keep the management rights to the other two worlds remaining. If you accept punishment, you'll lose all three. Think it over. He is so angry he grinds his teeth. Manhwa had long intended to get revenge on Long Eye. Originally, I was going to make it so you could never recover. But your remaining good subordinate led me to discover this amazing piece of intelligence. Long AI's subordinate proudly boasts, "Kid, while I was tracking your movements, I happened to discover the drawing on the ground. On that drawing, the central region of the incubator of life was marked." He thinks to himself, why does the king value the central region so much? Although he didn't say it clearly, I know that a treasure exists in this central region, enough to shake the entire prosperous clan. Manhwa is much more confident. Now, the entrance is hidden in some corner of the giant world. Do you think I still care about something as petty as revenge? Long Eye, take a good look. Who is the final winner? On Dai's waist hangs a small pouch. Inside is a sensor box. He rushes forward frantically. The sound attracts Dai's attention. It's coming from under the floor. The floor is suddenly punctured. Xiaoloon's leg appears at the edge of the hole, making Dai and Dongnam's hearts leap into their throats. He sighs in relief. Dai, I finally found you. He holds him in place. Tuen lies motionless in Xiaoloon's arms. Di rushes over to check on his mother. He frantically asks, Mom, how are you? Xiaoloon can barely get the words out. Her skull bone was taken. She suddenly regains consciousness. Dai. That's wonderful. Before Mom leaves, I can see you one last time. Dai is scared by his mother's words. What? Leave? Don't talk nonsense. You're going to live a long life. But Tuen brings up the past. Dai, do you remember when you were little and secretly prepared a birthday gift for me? Tears roll down his cheeks. I remember. Of course, I remember. She was truly happy back then. Mom felt like the happiest person in the world. Dai looks at Tuen, who is in pain. Mom, suddenly, she asks, Dai, can you carry Mom on your back? Tuen once promised him, okay, wait until you're grown up and Mom is old. Then you can carry me and we'll travel. Mom will go here and there, eat this and that. How about it? Dee agreed without hesitation. Okay, that sounds like fun. Let's do that. Mom, where do you want to go most? What do you want to eat most right now? I'll plan it. She wasn't in any hurry. Silly boy. There's plenty of time until you grow up. We can think about it slowly. Plan it slowly. But he was still insistent. I want to know now. Tell me. Dai hugs her tightly, sobbing. Mom. Tuen is on her son's back. He carries his mother away, pitied by his friends. Dai is filled with regret. Mom, I'm sorry. I never fulfilled our promise. Tuen blames herself. Silly boy. Didn't we say you'd carry me traveling when I'm old? Mom's not old yet. I'm just being needy, wanting my little treasure to carry me. He clearly remembers Tuyen's favorites. Mom, later we'll go eat braised chicken and bamboo shoot jelly. Your favorite. The flower garden on Ling Mountain. It has your favorite Edelweiss flowers. We'll go there too. She can't bear to leave. And after that? Dai replies in a low voice. The Nangshuan hot springs. Mom. Tuyen's hands go limp. Mom, don't leave me. Dai promises before Tuyen's grave. Mom, I will definitely avenge you. I will chop that guy into pieces. You once told me, the only thing that can deal with him is in the central region. I will definitely find the central region, and then become strong and avenge you. Before that, he thinks more maturely. Fang Xiaolun risked his life to bring you out, so I could see you one last time. I must repay this debt first. I'll safely take them to Kalea City, then I will begin my revenge. Mom. Rest in peace, Mom. Dee pulls himself together. Let's go. I'll take you to Kalea City. 2 hours later, someone sets foot on Tuyen's grave. A stranger suddenly appears. Its shape changes. It turns out this person is Yin Gui. It approaches the bamboo stake and whispers, My apologies. The dirt is tossed up. Yin Gui uses its power to take Tuyen's memories. Its brain announces, copying life form. Yin Gui takes the brain and fits it into its own head. The transformation happens in an instant. Yin Gui successfully transforms into Tuyen. Before it is Dana's head, looking impatient. Why did you take so long to get here? I've done as you said. When can I meet Crow Fiend number 0? Yin Gui seems to be stalling. What's the rush? Do you think the master is someone you can meet just because you want to? He can't help but worry. Aren't you in a hurry at all? The reset of the incubator of life has already begun its countdown. When the time comes, all creatures inside will die. We'll both die. We must find the exit quickly. It specifically repeats the given mission. You must understand, the things that we're doing now are all in preparation for finding the exit. And the master's test for Fang Xiaolun is related to whether we can survive and leave the incubator of life. Dana is still confused. A test for that kid? Will it really work? It knows what's important. Isn't this test better than expected? Why? The central region, which we had no information about, has given them a new lead. Do you know, the central region corresponds to the main control room of the incubator of life? That place can directly shut down. It's reset protocol. He suggests the idea. It can be shut down directly? Scene. Kalaya. A man flees in panic. Damn it. He thinks to himself, why am I being targeted by the people of the demon quarter? I can't let them. This brain egg cannot fall into their hands. His pursuer is Guji. The weapon in her hand is intricately designed. Guji decides to wound the man from behind. He can't help but be astonished. The man felt his body begin to change. He let out a blood-curdling scream. Guji simply stood and watched as the man stopped moving. Guifang's assassin, Guji. She felt it wasn't a waste of effort to lure him. This temporary mission. Don't you dare file this under my regular duties. This is overtime. You immediately gave a polite refusal. I don't have the authority. You'll have to take it up with the higher-ups. He began to lecture her. Besides, I already instructed you to handle this with care. If the goods are damaged, you get nothing. But Guji couldn't care less. Tsk. What a nasty guy. Powerless and annoying. All he knows is how to trail after me all day. This young lady is not some murder weapon you can lock in a cage. You carefully handled the solution in the egg. Good thing it's not damaged. She was a bit curious. What is that? He explained calmly. A new brain egg cultivated by the Xiaoloon people. I heard it's a new weapon they've developed. Guji didn't quite trust the Xiaoloon people, the most primitive race of the Shengming Jihuan. This guy is so weak. He's definitely not a Xiaoloon person. Yu was strangely calm. The one who hired him probably ran off. The Xiaoloon people never show their faces. Guji wanted to know the reason. So this brain egg, what does the Guifang want with it? He confirmed the reason. The Guifang has already finalized a collaboration with the red-skinned Biren. The next focus will probably be dealing with the Xiaoloon people. She stated firmly, let me say this up front. I will not work for the red-skinned Biren. You turn to leave. Ha. Do you have a choice? Let's go. This brain egg. Someone will be here to pick it up soon. We have to get back to the hotel. Guji would not accept her fate as a pawn. Go ahead and laugh. This time, I will definitely succeed in escaping the Guifang. You just watch me then. A girl's hands were bound by a lock. She couldn't speak. There was a keyhole on the girl's chest. Guji was extremely pleased. After I stole this keyhole from you, you must be frantically searching for it, right? I've given enough clues. She could feel it. He's here. Guji grew more certain, and through her eyes, she looked directly through the deep, dark hole. Xiaoloon was not surprised at all. Came to spy on me? This woman really knows I'm watching her. East Kalia City. Dongnan wanted to confirm again. Xiaoloon, what's the situation over there? He calmly described it. Hold on. Now she's dragging the keyhole girl around the room. Xiaoloon noticed the small details on the wall. There's a winged fox symbol. D. Immediately identified the location. It's the Flying Fox Hotel. It's the closest to Wang Luo prison. He considered the worst-case scenario. The keyhole girl is indeed an escorted prisoner. Once she transfers the prisoner to Wang Luo prison, it'll be hard to deal with. Xiaoloon grew suspicious. But she arrived in the city a while ago, but still hasn't delivered the prisoner. And her current actions are clearly deliberate. She's trying to lure the snake into the basket. He then asked Feng Xiaoloon for his opinion. So, what do you want to do? He had already thought of a way. My current energy is still enough to manipulate. One giant. Dai, Dong Nan. How about we put on a play? Dong Nan was utterly confused. A play? What play? Xiaoloon wanted to give her a taste of her own medicine. A play that also lures the snake into the basket. Dai was worried about his health. Feng Xiaoloon, never mind the play. The wound on your body is still bleeding. Are you sure you can still hold on? Xiaoloon was completely confident. I'm recovering at a fast rate right now. This combat state is pretty awesome. Maybe I'm even immortal. The two black eggs reminded Xiaoloon before he acted. Xiaoluo. If he had hit your heart back then, you would still die. And the pain of recovery would kill you too. But Xiaoloon just teased. Ha, black egg. You're really sassy now. You can't even hold a proper conversation anymore. It seemed troubled. But then again, Xiaoluo, you actually passed the time limit for your combat state long ago. But Xiaoloon didn't understand. What do you mean? The black egg provided the information. The energy sustaining you right now isn't from me. It's from yourself. He felt lucky. Well, isn't that great? And I also noticed the black on your body has returned. It was sad because it couldn't help Xiaoloon. I feel like to Xiaoluo now, I don't have much use anymore. He gently comforted it. Silly. Your value to me is for me to decide, not you. Your value is immense. The black egg was very excited. How immense? How immense? He answered shyly. I don't know how to say it eloquently. It's just really immense. Xiaoloon didn't want to waste precious time. All right, die. Don't worry. My body is fine. His eyes showed his determination. Right now, we should be discussing how to act out the play. To lure the snake into the basket. And Ji looked around and wondered, that's strange. Why has it been so long? And Master still hasn't returned to regroup with us? The meeting point isn't far from the Flying Fox Hotel. It continued forward without any caution. Then, it discovered someone's body, and exclaimed in shock, isn't this the giant that Fang Xiaolun was controlling? Why is it lying here? And Ji got closer and touched the giant's neck. A second later, it was shocked and horrified. No, there's no pulse. And Ji started to get worried. It ran around searching. How can this be? Then where's Master? Master! Suddenly, it was startled when it discovered something. Ahead, Yin Gui was kneeling before someone respectfully. Master, because something unexpected happened, I took the liberty of finding you. The other person replied cheerfully, it's all right. Oh, hi. At that moment, he snapped his fingers. Something like an egg flew straight towards Anji, surprising it. This, just as it was about to hit Anji's face, the object shattered, releasing a cloud of white smoke that went straight into its eyes. In an instant, Anji was knocked out and fell to the ground. At this point, the other person spoke nonchalantly. All right. Speak. Yin Gui presented a box containing something. Master, please look. This is the brain egg. We swapped it back before the Guifang could snatch it. The other guy understood the intention. So that's how it is. The Loon people are preparing to cause a parasitic egg bacteria outbreak. We really shouldn't interfere. Let's switch it back. Letting the red-skinned people get a taste of something new would also be good. Looking at the brain egg in the box, it radiated an extreme sense of dread. Yin Gui obeyed without question. Yes, but this humble servant has been parasitized by this bacteria. Even so, he continued nonchalantly. It's fine. It's just a tiny egg bacterium. I'll remove it for you. It was immediately grateful. Thank you, Master. Next, from his 2 fingers, he opened a small hole in space. The hole slowly grew under the control of his fingers. Then it grew bigger and bigger. A moment later, an egg-like object appeared. It was called the nurturing vessel. The other person stepped into the nurturing vessel. Yin Gui continued to speak. Master, a small report for you. I have taken the keyhole girl created by Fang Xiaolun and forcibly sent her to the prison. He, inside the egg, praised with satisfaction. Very good. You can always keep up with my pace. It continued to express itself. Master, Guji has an arrogant personality, bringing her into Fang Xiaolun's camp. I feel like she will walk all over Fang Xiaolun. This humble servant feels it is not very appropriate. From within the nurturing vessel, tendrils slowly pierced through the shell. They plunged straight into Yin Gui's body, along with the voice. Guji's parents come from a Shengming Zihuan. To us, she is more of a benefit than a harm. It's fine. This is also a test for Fang Xiaolun. Yin Gui said no more and immediately obeyed. Yes, this servant understands. Then, as if remembering something, the other person continued to give orders. Oh, right. There's someone in the prison who wants Fang Xiaolun to meet them. You arrange it. Hearing this, Yin Gui asked, who is it? He revealed, Yahello, person who claims to be from the copy world. You. At this, Yin Gui seemed to realize something with a start. Scene change. Elsewhere, Xiaolun voiced his question. Guji, I have a question. If you are a top-ranked assassin of the Guifang with formidable skills, why are you afraid of small giants? But Guji explained without hesitation, that's not fear. They are just people sent by the Guifang to supervise me. What's there to be afraid of? Hearing this, Xiaolun became even more puzzled. Supervise? She said helplessly. Fine. If I chose this method to meet you, then there's nothing worth hiding. My entire body has been implanted with a special kind of goo poison by the Guifang. It can travel through my blood to restrain me. Xiaolun seemed to have understood the issue. So your real purpose is to escape from the Anomaly, Guifang. Guji quickly confirmed. You guessed right. When I went to the incubator grounds to carry out a mission, that was the second time I discovered the energy anomaly. After that time, I've always been paying attention to the changes there, until you all arrived. He finally realized. So, you discovered the anomaly long ago, but you've been in the giant world for so long, couldn't you find a way to leave? She confessed. It's very difficult. The appearance of the anomaly is very rare. And according to the information I currently have, besides the anomaly, there's only the secret gate of the red-skinned people. Hearing this, Xiaoloon was startled. He guessed, the red-skinned people. You're talking about him. Guji explained further. This secret gate can only be opened by the red-skinned people, and the location of the gate is not fixed. So ordinary people can't use the secret gate, Xiaoloon guessed. So you can only get in and out through the red-skinned people. But she denied it. Also not realistic. When ordinary people enter the secret gate, their bodies can't withstand the tearing and they die. Hearing this, he carefully probed further. Then, what about the crow fiends? How do they get through? Guji stated plainly, the crow fiends have bone spheres on them. This thing seems to be an evolution of the progenitor egg. It's a mystery. For many years, the number hasn't increased. There are only 15 of them. This information surprised Xiaoloon even more. The bone sphere used to be an egg. She continued, I thought you. Before she could finish, Guji was startled by a realization. A second later, she clutched her head, knelt down, and screamed in pain. Xiaoloon witnessed this and asked in confusion, What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Guji's face was now pale and she struggled to say, This is the gu sound. At that moment, not far away, Yu was blowing a certain melody with his hand. There were holes on his hand, like a flute. The sound produced flew straight to Guji, causing her pain. Xiaoloon was alarmed. Gu sound? But I can't hear anything. She clutched her head in pain, her voice trembling. As she explained, this is a low-frequency sound wave. Only someone who has been cursed can hear it. He looked at Guji thoughtfully. She doesn't look like she's acting. Despite the pain, she managed to whisper, In an hour, I'll be in the prison. You can manipulate a guard to get in. That shouldn't be hard. Hearing this, Xiaoloon was surprised and asked, How do you know I can manipulate giants? She still answered patiently, The energy embedded in him is the same as the energy on you. The prisoner with the keyhole is locked in the high-security ward. It's a place that regular guards can't get to. His face was full of confusion as he heard Guji speak. Xiaoloon asked, So, you're saying we have to cooperate? She trembled in pain but still managed to say, Yes. Guji pondered, Right now, the keyhole is not in my hands. I have no bargaining chips with him. I can only compromise and cooperate. And you threatened in a loud voice, Guji, if you don't, I will raise the sound to phase 2. At that point, you'll be in a world of hurt. Don't say I was cruel. I have to go now. I hope that in an hour, I can see your shadows. She staggered to her feet and said to him, Xiaoloon, deep in thought, looked into the distance. At this moment, the black egg anxiously asked, Dai, what's happening with Xiaoluo? He shouted angrily, Damn it! My clone lost. If my main body was there, let's see how arrogant he could be. It broke out in a sweat and asked, Dai, what's really going on? Dai whipped his head around and replied, It's not clear on Feng Xiaolun's side yet. I hope the time I bought him was enough for him to negotiate. Before he could finish his sentence, he heard a noise. Dongnan and Ng slowly stepped in. He worriedly asked the other, What's going on? What took you so long to get back? He recounted, On the way back, we ran into a tracker. The black egg flew back and forth and asked, A tracker? Was it another small giant? Dongnan replied coldly, Maybe. Dai heard this and asked, Maybe? What do you mean, maybe? He broke out in a cold sweat as he recounted the memory. After shaking the tracker, I can't remember anything at all. Dai speculated seriously. Then your opponent might have memory locking abilities. But why would he erase your memory? Ng, when you went to find him, did you notice anything unusual? He asked Ng next to Dongnan, who could only shake his head. I don't understand either. I can't remember anything. Suddenly, the black egg spoke up. Then what about the giant that Xiaoluo was controlling? He replied, He came back with us. He's outside. Dai and the others stepped outside. He slowly observed and then said, Right now, we can only wait for Feng Xiaolun to come back and talk. The giant looked up blankly. Suddenly, Dai spoke up. It's true. The high-security ward in the prison is very difficult for us to enter. From what I've learned, the prison has 4 levels below ground, and the high-security ward is on the lowest level. He stepped in and slowly said, So, the giant outside can't easily lead us into the high-security ward. I feel that if we cooperate with Guji, we have to be careful. He and Dongnan both hummed in agreement. Xiaolun ordered, Let's go. At the dark Wang Luo prison, down a long hallway, he and his 2 brothers stepped down. From the giant's large hands, he asked curiously, Where is she? Xiaolun also looked around curiously and said, Regular guards can only stop here. She must know. Before he could finish, Dongnan shouted, There! He pointed up at the high corridor. Right up there was Guji. She pointed and whispered, "This way." All three of them looked up at Guji. He and his brothers followed behind her. Dai asked, "Isn't the small giant coming with us?" Guji quickly replied, "There's only one exit on the lowest level of the prison. If he's at that entrance, then I definitely can't escape." Xiaoloon said urgently, "We have to speed up. The time before the key disappears is less than 2 hours." Hearing this, she also panicked. The lowest level is very large. If time is this tight, I need you to resonate your vision to confirm the keyhole's location. He was surprised after hearing her say that, and asked, "I thought you already had information on the location where she's being held. We only know the general area." But the prisoner was suddenly moved to another area. "It's not impossible. We have to confirm to avoid wasting time." Xiaoloon slowly stopped and said to her, "Okay, I get it." He called out, "Black egg, come here." It quickly took out the key. Suddenly, something shot up from under the ground. Bone fragments shot up one after another, forcing Dongnan and Dee to jump back to avoid them. "There's something in the ground!" The black egg had just shouted a warning when the key it was holding was snatched away. The black egg panicked, looking left and right in confusion. She held the key and said loudly, "The key, thanks." Turns out Guji had set him up. Xiaoloon quickly chased after her, yelling, "Guji, you're playing tricks. Were your words all lies?" She used a spell, causing the bone fragments to form a wall, separating the two of them. Guji calmly replied, "No, everything I said was true. It's just that I only trust myself." He slammed his hand on the wall, made of thousands of bone fragments. Angrily, "Damn it," he followed behind. Xiaoloon was also annoyed. "The path is blocked. That damn brat. That damn brat." His expression suddenly changed, becoming strangely calm as he said, "It's fine. She'll have to come back to us to atone, because only I can use the key." Still in the dark Wangluo prison, he looked up and heard a giant rushing in with his comrades, yelling, "Did you guys know? Just now, in the abandoned building in the city, they found Ta San's body." The other comrades asked in surprise, "What?" He recalled. The large giant with one eye covered asked himself, "Ta San?" The other comrades also whispered back to the guy, "Are you guys mistaken? I just saw him a moment ago." Yu was suddenly surprised. He quickly shot up and whispered, "Not good. That brat conspired with an outsider. Why does she want to escape?" Yu thought about Guji. At this moment, holding the key, she thought to herself, "No one in this world is trustworthy." She ran desperately, her thoughts unfinished. Whether it was before or now, the only person I can trust is myself. Guji ran desperately towards the door. "I want freedom. No one get in my way." She stared intently at a target with a keyhole, which terrified the girl. Finally, Guji. She screamed in frustration, annoyed that she couldn't insert the key. "Impossible! Why can't I even insert it?" Guji kept trying to use force, but all her efforts were in vain. The other girl couldn't take it anymore, and snapped, "If you want to kill me, just get it over with. You shut your mouth." Her voice trembled as if she was about to cry, which surprised the other girl. "I can't give up yet." She formed a hand seal and aimed it straight at the person in front of her. The other girl couldn't resist, only able to widen her eyes in surprise. Then she collapsed, unconscious. In the cold hallway, an exhausted Guji lifted the body of the girl with the keyhole over her head. Her eyes were wide with determination. "As long as I can get out of here, being recognized doesn't matter." Dai looked around and then spoke up. "Fang Xiaoloon, the new giant you're controlling must have no sense of direction. Didn't we just arrive at the entrance? Why do I feel like we're going deeper and deeper?" He replied, "This giant, in a manipulated state, surely wouldn't play any tricks, right? Right, Black Egg?" The black egg flapped its wings and replied, "Correct. Once a creature with a brain is manipulated, it will always obey commands. Unless it has no brain," Xiaoloon quickly reasoned. "If it had no brain, it wouldn't listen to our commands to lead us." He turned his head and blurted out angrily, "If it weren't for Guji causing such a big commotion, alerting the prison guards, staying put and waiting for her would have been best." Dongnan said coldly, "She made a scene on purpose, so that we couldn't follow her. It's just, did she guess that we would be waiting for her at the entrance?" Xiaoloon whipped his head towards him and answered firmly, "That woman is very cunning. She definitely could have guessed." The giant suddenly stopped and spoke. "I can't go any further," he asked loudly. "Why did you lead us to a dead end, huh?" The giant hesitated and explained, "No, below." The giant said, "This place is a shortcut. After passing through here, it's very quick, and we can reach the entrance location." After the group safely landed from the giant's shoulder, it then spoke up. "Xiaoluo, it turns out he was leading us on a shortcut." Xiaoloon turned his head and looked back. his mind full of questions. That's weird. Why didn't he say so at first? Whatever. Right now, the most important thing is to quickly get inside the entrance. After a while of walking back and forth, his mind was filled with worry. Walking for so long, if it's not up and down, it's winding and turning. Something doesn't feel right. Suddenly, there was something ahead that surprised Xiaoloon. It turned out to be a silent door that met their eyes. He shouted angrily, "It's a dead end. Ahead is a prison cell. We were tricked by that giant." He broke out in a cold sweat, completely bewildered. I felt something was off. But why would he lead us here? Dai also fell into deep thought. The location of this prison cell is set up very strangely, and on this path, all the prison cells have guards. Only this one doesn't. Could it be that it's empty inside? I'll go check it out now. A deep, hoarse voice spoke up. Dong Nan approached the door. After a moment of looking through the small glass window, he saw a woman. Dong Nan spoke up. It's not empty inside. There's a woman locked up, but it's so weird. There's a layer, like a bubble on her body. Suddenly, a piece of the transparent bubble flew through the thick iron door from the inside. It sucked his whole body in, causing the group to shout in unison, "Dong Nan!" The bubble quickly tightened, making it harder and harder for him to breathe. The woman inside the room shouted, "If you don't want to die, then tell that woman to return what she took from me." Dong Nan's body began to float up, forcing both Xiaoloon and him to hold him down by the legs. And Ji shouted urgently, "Master, it looks like he can't breathe." Dai said urgently, "Quick, break this bubble!" He tried everything, but he couldn't puncture the bubble's membrane. That's weird. What is this thing? I can't break through it at all. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps approached them. "Quick!" Guji approached with the girl's body and ordered them, "Quick, pull him out of the string." Seeing her, Xiaoloon was surprised and called out, "Guji," and then confusedly repeated the words, "Out of the string?" The woman in the room heard the noise and shouted loudly towards the outside. "That sound. It's you. You bitch! Give me back my stuff. Nothing else matters. I just want my pendant." He heard this and was puzzled. "Pendant?" Dai turned his head and scolded Guji. "You damn woman, you stole something from the woman inside?" She didn't care about anything, and bossily ordered Xiaoloon, "Ignore her. Quick, put the key into the keyhole. You and the prison guards are about to arrive." You and the guards were rushing over. He was stunned after hearing what Guji said. "What? Even the prison guards are coming?" She shouted urgently, ordering, "Quick, Fang Xiaolun, quick, use the key to insert it into the keyhole. If not, all of us will be caught." Suddenly, the woman inside whispered with a trembling voice, as if about to cry, "Fang Xiaolun." Did she say Fang Xiaolun? I didn't mishear, did I? Xiaolun quickly took the key and inserted it into the keyhole. The woman's voice suddenly spoke up. "Xiaolun, is that you? It's me, your sister." He heard her words and could only stammer, "Sister, sister?" In the gloomy night forest, under the old tree, round black and white eggs swayed back and forth. The white-haired man listened intently to the situation report. "Just now, I sensed an abnormal energy and have set up an ambush. Yes, everything has been done as you said. Rest assured." The white-haired man turned and said to Zikai, "The reinforcements are on their way. The higher-ups have ordered that the first priority is to capture the alien black egg and its host alive. The others, kill them if you can." Zikai turned, his voice slightly excited. "Does that mean I can go on a killing spree?" The white-haired man paused slightly and replied, "You could say that, but if you can't kill them, don't waste time arguing with them. Escape quickly." Zikai's expression gradually changed. His look of amusement grew stronger. He asked, "Is there anyone I can't kill?" Suddenly, he burst into crazed laughter. The white-haired man was startled back by his aura. He thought to himself, "Damn it. The higher-ups sent this guy to cooperate with me. Once this guy's eyes turn red, he's hard to control." Yao Tien, who had been silent, also spoke up. "Manager, if we succeed in capturing that alien egg alive, can I be rewarded with an edible egg on harvest day?" The white-haired man smiled ambiguously and replied, "This time, you've done a great service, so a reward is in order. But as for whether it's an edible egg or not, we can only say when the time comes." Hearing this, Yao Tian's mind was no longer clear enough to see the trap. He wiped his mouth and smiled. "Is that so? Then there's a possibility. That really makes me look forward to it." 5 minutes earlier, Xiaoloon, who was out of control, was called by name. "Xiaoloon, I'm your sister." His mind went blank. "Sister? She's my sister?" At this moment, Yu and the others slowly approached, surrounding Xiaoloon. The cave trembled. Everyone panicked. And she spoke up. "Master, we're back. Yu, Suddenly, Xiaolun grabbed Guji's arm. He asked her, Guji, who is she really? She said she's my sister. Guji's face was tense as she reassured him, can we talk about this a little later? The dogs from behind have followed us to this world. But Xiaolun was extremely tense at the moment. He interrogated her frantically. No, tell me clearly now. If you don't, you're not going anywhere. Guji sneered. If I wanted to leave, do you think you could stop me? She looked down, at the hand gripping her arm. She glanced at Xiaolun's expression, slightly shaken. His body is trembling. In the end, she couldn't bring herself to leave. I'll tell you then. Guji squatted down, rummaging through her backpack as she explained. Li. That's what the demon quarter calls her. I don't think that's her real name. She added seriously. The reason for her capture is unclear, but it said she killed a mysterious red-skinned person. The demon quarter took on the commission to capture her. He was shocked. Killed? One of them? Guji continued. Yes, she's very powerful. All the assassins sent after her disappeared without a trace. The demon quarter had no choice but to find me and 4 other top-ranking assassins. Only by killing her were we barely able to capture her. From her backpack, she took out a pendant with a blue stone. This is the pendant she mentioned. Xiaolun took the pendant and observed it intently. The stone set on it was a blue gemstone. The color was incredibly beautiful. Dai came closer and casually said, Stinky woman, you have other things, don't you? Why don't you take them out? Guji gritted her teeth, annoyed by his name-calling. Fine, I'll take them out. Just stop calling me stinky woman. He was still staring at the pendant in his palm. He turned it over and over, then opened the pendant. Underneath the gemstone was a photograph. In the photograph, 2 siblings were hugging each other, smiling happily. Seeing this photograph, Xiaolun seemed to realize something. Fragmented memories came flooding back. The sister in the photograph was carrying her crying younger brother on her back. Her expression was tense. Xiaolun, we have to go. Be good. Eat this and go to sleep, and everything will be alright. Mom, Dad, you absolutely must not let anything happen. He held his head and kept calling, Sister! When the memories passed, Xiaolun slowly regained his senses. Sister. She really is my sister. Dee was still fiddling with the items Guji took from her backpack. He complained. So, stinky woman, you stole her things, because you wanted to take this crystal egg for yourself. She was angered by his lawless words. She scolded. If you don't talk, no one will think you're mute. Dai continued to ramble on. Crystal eggs sell for a sky-high price in the giant world. And she wondered, so that's a crystal egg? Suddenly, the mask on Dong Nam's face suddenly cracked. His eyes showed a hint of surprise. Immediately after, the crack grew larger. Pieces began to fall off. From behind, a shadow lunged forward like a flash of lightning. In one swift move, it cut the black egg in half. It was none other than Dong Nam. When Xiaolun saw this, it was like a bolt of lightning struck his ears. Everyone was also completely unprepared for what had just happened. He cried out in horror, Black egg! Dong Nam still didn't spare the black egg. He reached out and grabbed half of the egg. Like a flash, Dong Nam took both the black egg and Xiaolun, and disappeared without a trace. Everyone could only cry out in astonishment. Guji was horrified. So fast. In the blink of an eye. Dai was still casually cursing. Liar! Is this that Dong Nam guy? At this moment, Xiaolun, who was slung over Dong Nam's shoulder, was still in a daze. Strange. Why? Can't I use the black egg's power at all? He seemed to understand what he was thinking. He reassured him. Xiaolun, don't worry. I'm just eliminating the part linked to the black egg. I'm saving it. But Xiaolun seemed to realize something and cried out, This voice! You're not Dong Nam. Who are you really? The man with Dong Nam's face now sneered. In the incubator of life, everyone calls me Zero. Outside the tunnel, Yao Tien's group was still waiting on their knees. He impatiently asked, Manager, why isn't there any movement yet? Shouldn't we just charge in? The white-haired man said, Haste makes waste. Suddenly, a strange breeze swept by, swaying the tall grass. Zihai looked up, sensed something, and ran after it. Seeing this, the white-haired man asked, Zihai, what is it? He replied while running, Something's not right. Something must have just flown by. Both Yao Tien and the white-haired man were stunned. Zihai continued to run in the direction. Something had just flashed by. The manager cried out. He couldn't help but complain inwardly. So annoying. Yao Tien showed no signs of wanting to leave his position. He said casually, Manager, this guy is too sensitive. The master of that black egg isn't that powerful. If he had just passed by, I would have definitely noticed. At this moment, Dai and the others had just rushed out. He cursed as he ran. Damn you, Dong Nam, you defeated foe. Stop right there. And Chi, held in Dee's hand, struggled. She cried out, "Let me go." He turned and glared at An Chi and cursed. Your master captured Fang Xiaoloon. Do you think you can escape? And Chi struggled hard. That's not my master. Dai didn't give her a chance to explain. He shouted, "Shut up! I don't want to hear your nonsense." He was still unwilling to give up. He threatened loudly. Listen up, the ambushers here are with Dong Nam, aren't they? Come out on your own. And indeed, someone emerged from the bushes. It was Yao Tien's group. The white-haired manager and Yao Tien emerged, followed by 3 eggs. He scratched the back of his neck and wondered, something's not right. This isn't the kid I met. But he has the alien black egg in his hands. But why is it only half an egg? The white-haired man stubbornly said, half an egg. Even if it's only half an egg, we have to seize it from. Guji turned to D. She asked, can you handle this by yourself? He snorted and replied confidently, humph. Stinky woman, I'm not counting on you. She smiled strangely. Just a reminder, I sense that quite a few energy bodies are coming this way. It's best to make this quick. Dai's face darkened. He seemed very angry. Look at how arrogant you are. Get away from your lapdog first. Then we'll talk. Guji turned to you and said, you, don't follow me anymore. You're free now. We'll go our separate ways. You spoke respectfully. You can't leave. We have to find that black kid. Lead us back to the giant world. She laughed loudly. I had a hard time getting here. You want me to go back? No way. You suddenly said something that didn't fit the situation. In this situation, would you like to hear me play some music? He said this and then brought his hand to his mouth and began to work, without caring about Guji's permission. She gritted her teeth at Yu's behavior. Her face was horrified. Damn it. I know. We'll go find Fang Xiaoloon. Guji launched herself towards Yao Tian's group. Yao Tien. Blocking a young lady's way means death. Yao Tien still hadn't realized the gravity of the situation. He was still smiling, and said, sending a beauty to welcome the battle. I won't be gentle. The manager's eyes were filled with murderous intent as he ordered, Sapper, hold her off. My target is the 2 alien eggs, in the hands of the long-haired man. Yao Tien smiled and said, yes, sir. Guji wasn't flustered. On the contrary, she was a little excited. Like a flash, she slashed straight ahead, so fast that all 3 eggs in Yao Tien couldn't dodge. They were cut in half. Finally, Guji tilted her head, revealing a smile like a venomous snake baring its fangs, completely out of place with her gentle face. At this time, in another place, by the lake, Xiaoloon, who had been released, was dazedly reminding himself, so sleepy. I can't fall asleep, he wondered. Where is this place? Behind Xiaoloon, Zero was busy doing something to Zihai's body. Half of the black egg was connected to another, larger egg. He wondered, what is that guy doing? Dong Nam was using strange devices to connect to Zihai's slumped body. He mumbled to himself, I'm seeing if he's qualified to become a puppet. Hearing this, Xiaoloon was stunned. A puppet? Wait, you can hear my thoughts? Zero, while fiddling with the modifications, kindly explained, through the small embryo on your back. I can hear them. Only then did he notice that a strange device was attached to his back. So, on my back, you've attached this thing to me. No wonder I can't move. He turned to face him. His cold, emotionless face said, don't be impatient. After I'm done fixing the black egg, it's your turn. Xiaoloon was shocked by Zero's words. Fix? What do you mean? You said before, you were eliminating the linked part of the black egg. What does that mean? The black egg hovered in the air, being repaired by countless strange tentacles from another, larger egg. Larger egg, it was being repaired. He said with the same cold expression, in your brain and in the egg. Organs have been inserted, and are being monitored. Half of the black egg's body has been infiltrated. It had to be cut off. He was stunned by Zero's calm words. His mind was in a daze. In my brain too? When were these organs put in? He was still repairing the devices on Zihai's body. As he explained, usually, it's at birth when the egg link is eaten, but for you, it was probably around 1 year old. At that time, I had just adapted to this body. It was too late to help. Xiaoloon lay face down on the rock. His mind was still reeling from the information he had just received. He asked again, adapt? Body? Aren't you Dong Nam's multiple personality? Zero said, no. Dong Nam is only 22 years old, but I have lived for over 100 years, he exclaimed in surprise. Over 100 years? He smiled. Very strange, isn't it? Because I am a parasitic brain inside Dong Nam's head. Now we share the same body. Xiaolun simply couldn't believe his ears. He wondered. Lived for over 100 years? A parasitic brain? What the hell are you? Zero frowned. What thing? Why do you call me a thing? Although I don't have a body, I'm also from Earth. I'm a real human. Xiaolun dazedly asked again. Earth? He stood up and explained, you were born here. You've probably never heard of Earth, have you? That's my original home. There, my name was Lu Tinghai. I was a quack doctor. Although I didn't live a very glamorous life, it was quite exciting. I liked it a lot. Zero took a step closer to him. He said, until I came into contact with the red-skinned people, who suddenly appeared. Zero knelt down on one knee beside Xiaolun and recounted, I became one of the first group of humans from Earth to be placed in the egg. Hearing this, he exclaimed, the first group? You guys went in without investigating the red-skinned people's purpose? You went in? He didn't answer, just quietly continued his story. Earth was becoming unsuitable for human life. Hope appeared. Do you think everyone could still remain calm? Xiaolun's eyes were wide with surprise. Zero continued. We humans, that is to say, were given a few benefits by a human-like creature. We thought the other party was a brother. So we found 15 pioneers to go in and explore. The situation. He was stunned. 15 people. Exactly the same number as the skull orbs. The Zero's eyes grew sad. We pioneers who went in all had to undergo compatibility training from the red-skinned people. But Xiaolun understood something. He confirmed. The compatibility training was actually a setup for the skull orbs, wasn't it? He went into more detail. To be precise, we were modified. We were also given a few secret orders. He asked in shock. Secret orders? Zero's eyes now became crazed. Kill the owner of Skull Orb number 0 and take his place. This was the order I was given. Xiaolun exclaimed. What? You weren't number 0 from the beginning? Seeing that he had been exposed, he didn't hide it and admitted, that's right, I am number 15. Don't be mistaken. He questioned, the red-skinned people wanted you all to kill each other? So what about the others' orders? Zero also enthusiastically explained to him, everyone's orders are different. Only the individual knows for sure. Xiaolun asked, were the orders transmitted through the linked egg? Is there one on me too? He replied, no, low-level edible eggs cannot directly transmit orders. The egg person, he asked in a panic. What the hell is that? Perhaps even Zero himself doesn't fully understand this thing. He said, information about the egg person is very limited. I don't know much either. But one thing is for sure. It came from the core area. Xiaolun, hearing the familiar area, asked again, the core area again? Zero propped himself up on his hands and said without stinginess, it's just that this egg person was originally something in there. Or did it mutate after entering? He ambiguously said, that's still a mystery. He was made curious by his ambiguous words. Your mystery is even bigger. What are you doing now? Really? Zero stated his purpose, word for word. My purpose is very simple. I want to leave this egg of life before the reset. He said this and stood up. Xiaolun watched Zero's movements. Reset? He wondered. He calmly explained, it means the life egg will revert to its most primordial and chaotic state. When that happens, every living creature will face an overwhelming disaster. He cried out, what? Zero ignored Xiaolun and turned to the giant egg. Before the reset, there will be a grace period to allow the creatures inside to make a choice. Either leave or stay. But the current situation is that the Redskins have sealed the exit. He shouted helplessly. These Redskins want to trap us, so we all die? He turned back, his expression calm. Them? Their minds are filled with food. They just want to, before the reset, have a large-scale harvest of eggs to eat, that's all. Xiaolun asked. So how much time is left until the reset? Zero touched Black Egg to check, then replied, less than half a month. Shocked, he clenched his trembling fists. No way. I can't just stay here. I want to go back to the giant world to save my sister. He turned. Your sister killed a Redskin. The prison is just a stopping point. There's a high chance she'll be transferred. The transfer destination is probably our world over here. Xiaolun was taken aback by this news and let out an involuntary cry. Zero kindly explained, this side has the largest scale. The handover will take place here. As usual, the Redskins will gather to select their goods. Then they'll open a path to take them outside the wall to provide for the royal family to enjoy. As he adjusted Black Egg's position, he said, your sister committed a grave crime. She will be partitioned by the Redskins and eaten at the product selection meeting. Hearing this, Xiaolun panicked. Partitioned and eaten? Zero spoke with a serious and grave expression. If you want to save your sister, you have to act on the day of the harvest. All right, Xiao Dan. Okay. Zero pulled Black Egg out from the tentacles. He said casually, "It's your turn." He looked over. "Wait, I'm not done asking questions." Just then, the device on Xiaoloon's back activated briefly. He was caught off guard and passed out. Outside the core area of the life egg, the transition zone, Rente, captain of the special search party under the Red King, was pleading, "Please, spare me." Mingju remained calm. "Don't look at me with pleading eyes." His ghostly voice transmitted a message. "Go. You have all misunderstood the meaning of the reset." Rente was shaken by this news. He froze and cried out. Mingju glanced at him and said, "It is not an accident that will one day strike unexpectedly. It is a cleansing process." Step by step, he approached Rente. The black mist gradually dissipated, revealing a pale gray brain. Mingju approached it. His voice echoed as if in a dark forest. "The mastermind has shifted from creation to evil destruction." Countless egg sacs hung from above. Mingju remained nonchalant. At the same time, it brings with it the soon-to-be-born apostles of evil to complete the reset process. He stood before the brain like a supreme god and commanded, "All living things, prepare to welcome it." The scene changes to another place. Xiaoloon paused for a moment and looked to his side. Immediately after, he broke into a warm smile. "Black Egg, you're awake." Black Egg looked up at Xiaoloon. "Xiaoloon, where is this?" Xiaoloon bent down to explain, "This is Zero's base, beneath the cave lake." As he was lifted up, it asked blankly, "Zero?" Xiaoloon's expression turned serious. "You've been in a coma for several days. I'll explain everything as quickly as I can. But the harvest starts in 2 hours, so we need to prepare quickly." Soon after, Dai's group of 3, Yu and Guji, approached with 2 other eggs. He spoke up. "I've been waiting for you to wake up, Black Egg," it exclaimed in surprise. "Dai and Guji! Why are there 2 more eggs?" Dai immediately laid out the plan. "We'll split up." Behind him, Guji spoke leisurely. "Me and this guy will disguise ourselves as food ingredients to infiltrate the Redskins product trial meeting. You also stated his position, and I'll be on the perimeter, acting as support and relaying timely information to everyone." Black Egg asked naively. "So, what about me and Xiaolun?" Just then, Xiaolun popped his head out and said, "We'll be working with Zero to find my sister's location and the egg person's whereabouts." Black Egg was a bit surprised. "The egg person?" He nodded in confirmation. "Yeah, I heard the person in charge of this harvest has changed. The replacement is the egg person, and he will be escorted out of the city walls. Although Zero doesn't know much about him, but I heard that knowledge of the life egg's entrance and exit has been passed on to the Redskins." After hearing that, it wondered, is that so he can control it and find the exit? He looked at Black Egg and slowly explained, "Right now, because we don't understand the egg person, there are a lot of variables. Originally, we wanted to rescue my sister, and then disguise ourselves as high-quality food and escape from the wall with our comrades." He continued, "But if the egg person makes a move now, I'm afraid he'll see through the camouflage that Zero helped us create." It was confused. "Is the egg person that powerful?" Xiaoloon replied. "The egg person has a pineal gland for a body and can see through any object." Black Egg was surprised. "Huh? So what's our solution? Destroy his pineal gland body?" Guji spoke up. "Zero said that. The egg person's ability is definitely not inferior to the Redskins, so it's very difficult to eliminate him. That's why we need to use your ability, Black Egg." Black Egg was a bit bewildered. "My ability? Energy control? Xiaoloon can use that on his own. Besides, last time it didn't work on the Redskins." He immediately denied it. "No. What we need is your ability to stop time." It explained helplessly. "Xiaoloon, I can only stabilize the opponent's energy. Besides, the person who is frozen is still conscious, and time doesn't actually stop." But he said, "Black Egg, you stop time 3 times during your coma." It seemed surprised. "Huh?" Xiaoloon informed him. Although it was only for a few tens of seconds, time really did stop. Furthermore, when it stopped, only I could move. Black Egg was just confused. "But I have no memory of it." He recalled for a moment. "At that time, you kept muttering that you must be dreaming. Try to remember what you were dreaming about." It was startled, then recounted. I dreamed of a giant head." The thing spoke in a low voice, inviting, "Child, take my hand and let us rebuild this world from the ashes." Black Egg said, "This brain was inviting me to destroy the world with it." The other 4 looked at it in astonishment. It continued its story. "And then, I saw another version of myself, but with only half a body. It wanted me to be loyal to the giant brain and attacked me like a maniac. Thinking for a moment, it said, and this dream kept repeating. Before it could finish, Black Egg blankly hugged everyone. Xiaoloon looked behind him and immediately said, Black Egg, you've stopped time again. It flew up and looked at the other three, still a bit dazed. Everyone really stopped. By the way, Xiaoloon, why did we stop time? He stood up and answered, to get a sample from the egg person, to help Zero find its weakness. Black Egg asked timidly, so where's that Zero guy now? Xiaoloon quickly replied, he already left. This confused Black Egg. Huh? Aren't we working with him? Then how are we supposed to contact him? Xiaolun pointed to his ear. Through this thing that looks like a mole. Just imagine the other person in your mind, and give the command to connect, and you'll be able to connect with them. If you don't want to talk to the other person, just give the command to disconnect. Suddenly, an electronic sound was heard. He's contacting me. Then, a voice from the other side said, Xiaolun, I've found the location of the Redskins' base. It's currently right under the school that you used to attend. Xiaolun was stunned. Under the school? He hurried to the school, carefully avoiding the gazes of others. Meanwhile, Black Egg said, Xiaolun, I finally get it. Zero is another personality of Dongnam. But why does everyone trust him so much? What's this about a reset? It's all just stuff that he said. Xiaolun looked back and replied, at first, we didn't believe him, until he showed us a video clip. It looked at him doubtfully. A video clip? Thinking back, Xiaolun's face turned pale with fear. A video clip of a person from another. Life Egg being hunted by something. From the center to here. Black Egg asked worriedly. Xiaolun, you said the one being hunted was from another. Life Egg? Xiaolun nodded. We learned this from the conversation of two humanoid creatures. It wondered. Two. He recalled and answered, that's right. These two humanoid creatures were competing to hunt that person. In their struggle, they mentioned the reset. Then Xiaolun offered his speculation. Those two humanoid creatures must be competing for the leadership position. In the reset, Black Egg seemed surprised. Competing? While looking around, Xiaolun chatted with Black Egg. They mentioned a mastermind. We guess it's probably their boss. They are competing to gain the favor of this mastermind. It paused as if realizing something. Mastermind. Could it be the giant boss I saw in my dream? Confirming it was safe, Xiaolun quickly moved. It's very possible. While walking, Black Egg asked cautiously, so how was this footage obtained? He answered, according to Zero's analysis, it was probably copied from a human's retina. He walked while looking around vigilantly. Black Egg continued to ask, so is this person still alive? He quickly answered, that's unclear. After all, the image wasn't the original. The resolution wasn't high. Suddenly, the voice rang out again. Xiaolun, over here. Zero stood in front of a classroom door, smiling at Xiaolun. Underground beneath the school, two figures were moving hastily. As he ran, he looked up at the strange things on the wall. The things on the wall, are those what the Redskins use for surveillance and defense? He answered decisively, yes, I've studied this thing a bit. Seemingly still in doubt, Xiaolun asked again, right now, in their view, do we really look like we're invisible? Zero answered, conceal the energy on your body, and it won't detect you. During the time I trained you, now is the time to test it. Black Egg in Xiaolun's bag suddenly grew worried. Xiaolun, I've never been trained. I don't know how to conceal my energy. He looked back and explained, don't worry, Zero already put a membrane on you. It can hide your energy. It was surprised. Oh. Then it asked, have you found my sister's location yet? Zero, in front, answered, Zihai has already found it for us. Xiaolun was immediately overjoyed. That's great. We finally found it. But Black Egg asked blankly, Xiaolun, who is Zihai? He reminded it, the guy from before, who ambushed us outside the mountain cave, wanting to attack us. After Zero modified him, he's on our side now. It was a bit wary. Modified? Zero, running ahead, suddenly spoke up. Xiaolun, although we found your sister's location, but Xiaolun asked worriedly, what is it? He answered, right now, the Dan Ren is heading to your sister's location. Hearing that, Xiaolun was surprised and worried. Elsewhere, a few people cried out in admiration. A goddess. Truly a goddess. Strange. There's such a beauty in the school. And, how did I not notice? Guji happily basked in their admiration. Who is she? Who is she? So charming. Dai, walking beside her, just felt annoyed. I told you not to dress so revealingly. Look, you're attracting so many stares. She retorted angrily. What stares? This is the look of being mesmerized by me. He laughed casually. Mesmerized? You really are full of yourself. Just don't get in my way. Guji looked down and scoffed. Get in your way? On the contrary, your hand. Just don't suddenly go giant on me. Hey, can't you see it's healed? You should get your eyes checked. She frowned and complained. Talking to you is so tiring. Suddenly, a sound came to his ear. Die. He paused for a moment and asked, What's up, you? From the other location. He lowered his voice and requested, Keep an eye on that girl for me. Dai was immediately stunned. Keep an eye. Dude. We're about to die here. Why do you care about her? Are you still determined to take her back to the giant world? You immediately denied it. It's not that I just... He quickly cut him off. You just like her, don't you? You stammered, denying it. Don't talk nonsense. Dai smiled teasingly. This guy, the harvest is about to begin. Next, the eggs. Above everyone's heads began to suck something from them. Back to under the school. Xiaoloon asked hastily. Is the place where my sister's being held up ahead? Zero immediately stopped him. Wait. The two of them stopped. He looked at him suspiciously. Zero, could it be? Zero answered. That's right. It's the Dan Ren, Mingju. Mingju was now standing right in front of them. In their line of sight was Mingju with two of his underlings. We're too late. This egg person has already met your sister. Dongnam reminded him via telepathy, you don't need to worry about your sister. He won't lay a hand on the food supply designated for the Redskins. Xiaoloon pursed his lips. It's strange. Why would he specifically meet her before the harvest? What's it all for? He raised an eyebrow and explained, basically, he wants to get some information from your sister. Dongnam's words made him even more suspicious. Information? He seriously predicted, I guess it's information, related to the world of the copied people. Hearing this, Xiaoloon was startled and suspicious. The world of the copied people? Is that in the Shenming Ji Nuan? Dongnam looked at him and corrected him. It's in another Shenming Ji Nuan. The more Xiaoloon heard, the more shocked he felt. You mean she was in another Shenming Ji Nuan before? He replied softly. I'm not sure about that. You'll have to ask her. He was clearly still tense after the telepathic conversation earlier. Without another word, Dongnam turned back to the main topic. Xiaoloon, the egg person is right in front of us. Now is the time to use your ability. He peeked out to look at Mingju and his cronies. Dongnam hurriedly reminded him, because after time is stopped, only you can move. While transmitting the message, he took out a tiny vial. Use this to gently scrape him. You'll be able to get a tissue sample. Xiaoloon took it. Before using it, he asked to be sure, will scraping it hurt him? Dongnam quickly reassured him. No, it will just feel like being brushed by a thin veil. Hearing that, Xiaoloon felt relieved and proceeded. I got it. Black Egg immediately appeared. I've grasped the key point. Black Egg's whole body began to emit a blue magical glow. Immediately after, time stopped. Dongnam asked with some doubt. It stopped? Xiaoloon, if we stop time now, why don't we just kill this egg person directly? Mingju was now also standing still, without a single movement. Xiaoloon quickly jumped up and left the area. He answered as he approached him. This egg person holds the great secret of the exit. He can't die yet. Besides, it's not even clear if he can be killed. What if we can't kill him? The distance between Xiaoloon and Mingju grew smaller and smaller. Before we save my sister, we can't afford to tip them off. He slowly took out the vial from earlier to proceed. Now, I just need to gently scrape the back of his neck, and Zero will have a way to find his weakness. In Xiaolun's sight, the back of his neck appeared. This should be it. But before he could act, something zipped past, so fast it didn't even leave an afterimage, startling him. Next, Xiaoloon turned his head in confusion and doubt. He asked it repeatedly, bewildered. Just now, something clearly zipped over my head. Black Egg, this is impossible. We've already stopped time. It could only sweat helplessly. I don't understand what this is either. After a moment of no movement, Xiaoloon looked around again. Strange, it didn't show itself here? Black Egg had to hurry and urge him to leave. Xiaoloon, we don't have much time. Don't worry about it. Just get the egg person's tissue sample first. Only then did Xiaoloon react and rush forward. But immediately after, several ropes were thrown out, wrapping tightly around his hands and waist. Startled, Xiaoloon turned his head back. Instantly, the thing pulled him forcefully towards it. Xiaoloon was lifted up and pulled into a side passage. Only then did he manage to stop himself when he saw it was Li Sheng. He smirked and reminded him, he uses multiple bodies. Taking a sample is useless. Hearing this, Xiaoloon was startled. Multiple bodies? Li Sheng continued to speak. Don't take the risk. His main body is outside the Shenming Ji Nuan, not the one in front of you. This body and the main body are not on the same material level. Their composition is also different. If you really want to get one, you have to get the main body for it to have any research value. Besides, I advise you, it's best not to get close to him now. If his real body discovers you, then you will absolutely not escape from his grasp. With that, he slowly let go of Xiaoloon. Li Sheng moved gently closer to Mingju, to his astonishment. Why did you help me? He only turned his head seriously and gestured for silence. Xiaoloon was suddenly startled and confused, looking towards Li Sheng. He raised the corner of his lips and turned his head towards him. Why? Because I want to deal with him too. Immediately after, time resumed. Mingju seemed completely unaware, and lowered his head to remind him when he saw him. Li Sheng, why did you follow me? Don't run around all over the place. He obediently replied, Yes, father. The address made Xiaoloon gasp in surprise. Father? After what just happened, Xiaoloon and Dongnam had to rack their brains for another plan. He uses multiple bodies? Looks like we can't start with the egg person. He suddenly remembered a detail. The kid called the egg person father. They must have a father-son relationship. He rested his chin in his hand, thinking, regardless of whether they're father and son or not, the fact is that he helped us. We can find another breakthrough through him. At this point, Xiaoloon hesitated. But the information we have is limited. Dongnam had to reassure him. Don't rush. He'll definitely find us again. While they were discussing, they were suddenly startled by a sound. There's movement just below. It was two subordinates passing by. Xiaoloon quickly recognized the person they were carrying. He turned his head, clenched his fist, and suggested, Zero. I think now is the right time. Let's switch my sister out first. Dongnam seemed a bit dazed and asked, but Black Egg just used its ability not long ago. Can it be used a second time? Xiaolun turned his head towards him and affirmed, Yes. On the way here, Black Egg and I practiced several times. Black Egg then slowly spoke up, Yes. There's only a 1 or 2 second difference. Dongnam tilted his head, hesitating. The main issue now is the Yin Gui. Reading your sister's brain. It's a bit tricky. With that, he raised 2 fingers and pulled something out. Between Dongnam's fingers was now a Yin Gui. When Black Egg stops time, the Yin Gui can no longer read. And if we let the Yin Gui get close, I'm afraid the 2 red skins will find out. He calculated seriously. We can split it into 3 time pauses. He was finally completely convinced. Xiaoloon leaned over and asked, Right, Yin Gui, you can shrink your body at will, right? It quickly and firmly replied, Yes. He was much more relieved now. Alright then. Black Egg once again froze time. Xiaoloon immediately ran off. He held the Yin Gui, as planned. Black Egg asked doubtfully, Xiaoloon, this Yin Gui. As long as it can read the brain, it can transform into the other person's appearance? While concentrating on weaving past the minions, Xiaoloon replied, Yes. A few days ago, we practiced. The illusion is a perfect match. He got close to her and placed the Yin Gui inside. Just let it hide in my sister's hair for about 2 minutes, and it'll finish reading. Before leaving, Xiaoloon didn't forget to pat her head reassuringly. Sister, just wait a little longer. After the Yin Gui is done reading, we'll swap you out. After making sure everything was okay, he left with peace of mind. The scene shifts to another place. A group of people are walking around, with eggs on their heads. Guji and Dai are mixed in with the crowd. She reminded him, up ahead, they're about to start sorting the eggs. The path for the highest quality food is probably the one in the middle. They quickly got in line to be inspected. In front of them was Rente. Dai couldn't help but notice him. There's a red skin stationed there. Guji looked over and reassured Dai. Look at him. Acting like none of this is his business. He probably won't notice us easily. Dai also affirmed, we've both brought our energy down to within a normal person's range. As long as you don't make so many expressions and walk through with a blank face, it'll be fine. She whispered a reminder. You should worry about yourself first. They're about to use the distinguishing crystal. Food selection is done through the color of the crystal. Purple is the best food, green is next, and yellow is the most common. Guji thought seriously. We tested it several times with the stolen crystal before. It was always purple. Getting through here probably won't be a big problem. Then she quickly stepped forward to be inspected. The scanner quickly moved closer. After a few seconds, the machine turned purple. Guji looked and let out a sigh of relief. Just as expected, no problem. After she was done, she turned and headed towards the middle path, as planned. Rente, who had been quiet until now, suddenly looked up and took notice. Guji walked past him without a change in expression, until she passed without any trouble. She secretly rejoiced at having successfully passed. And behind her, it was Dai's turn for inspection. Surprisingly, his turned out blue. Dai looked at it, completely shocked. Weird. Why is it blue? The scene cuts to where Guji is walking. Though she appeared calm on the outside, inside, Guji was already freaking out. Dai, what are you talking about? Blue? How could it be blue? He replied via telepathy. I don't know either, I asked Zero. He said it might be because the rapid collection inflated the spirit stone's data. She brushed that issue aside and moved on to a more serious problem. But the blue eggs and the yellow eggs will be separated from their hosts immediately. What are you going to do? Dai had to opt for a riskier plan. How about they separate it after I play dead? I'll get over there quickly. Guji quickly suggested. Can't you just bail now? But Dai shot down that idea. No can do right now. Before him was a group of giants, devouring the eggs greedily. They kept grabbing eggs with both hands, eating non-stop. The way they were eating, it was like they'd been starved for ages. Dee carefully observed the situation. Quite a few of the red-skinned people have gathered here now. It would be his turn soon. They were going to sneak a bite before the egg separation. The moment one saw Dai, his attention was completely fixed on him. Although Guji was worried on her end, she had no choice but to accept it. Fine. I'm sure you can handle a little thing like this. Dai replied firmly. Of course. Their discussion finished, she moved forward with the group. The scene cuts back to Xiaoloon's position. The two giants were still moving. Despite Black Egg's time freeze ability, the more Xiaoloon watched, the more anxious he grew. Damn it. Why is the time stop having no effect on them? Black Egg spoke slowly. But isn't Zero frozen now, too? He finally had to drop the subject. Looks like for the red-skinned people, time stop can only be cast once. It could only sigh helplessly. If I'd known, I would have tried to save you the first time. Xiaoloon turned to discuss with Black Egg. Do you think the two of us can take on two of the red-skinned people? It immediately shot down the idea. Of course, with Zero's power, he could probably handle one of them. But us? We can't even get close. Besides, the red-skinned people can communicate with each other. Their buddies will show up in no time. By then, not only will we fail to save your sister, we'll be wanted criminals ourselves. Its voice trailed off as it spoke. We're still so weak. Suddenly, he told Black Egg to stop its power. If these two find out others can use the time ability, we're toast. Without daring to delay, Black Egg complied. Nam, who had been silent, finally spoke up. Against the red-skinned people, we can only use the ability once, so that's that. Let's stick to the plan. We'll find a chance to swap your sister out during the tasting event. Plus, Yin Gui is with your sister now, so we can get real-time intel. Xiaoloon immediately agreed. Yeah, that's the only way. Until then, Black Egg, get out of the bag. It'll be easier for me to disguise you as a high-quality edible egg. After hearing the plan, it didn't dare object. Okay, the scene changes again. Inside an elevator. This time, it wasn't just Guji. There were 6 other people with her. After waiting all this time, they've only gathered 5 high-quality eggs. She frowned, showing no emotion. With such a limited number, it seems the risk of being exposed while infiltrating is still very high. After a moment, the elevator stopped. The group quickly exited. In front of them were 5 other people, locked in a cage. Guji silently observed her surroundings. Seeing the scene before her, she thought to herself, keeping them in cages? Huh? Quite the setup. Guji quickly moved to stand in line with them. Once there, she began to think. There are less than 10 of us in total right now. The cage isn't that big. Based on the nearby energy readings, let's see. Within 50 meters to the left, there are 2 more cages crammed with people. And the tasting event is probably right below us, just as she predicted. Directly below them was a large hall. The figures down there were chatting animatedly. They were bantering back and forth cheerfully. After a moment of observation, Guji deduced, there are only 4 of those mysterious red-skinned figures in the hall right now. A surprised voice questioned her. Normally, you would have recognized the danger level by now. Have you lost your mind? Guji silently retorted. Whether I leave or not is my decision. Don't you always say that risk and opportunity go hand in hand? Her words left the voice speechless. But this situation is different. Guji's lips curled into an almost imperceptible smile. Perhaps an opportunity is right around the corner. Right above her, Li Sheng was sitting and observing. After seizing the opportunity, he jumped down. Li Sheng stood behind Guji, casually calling her out. When did you spot me, big sister? As he approached, he reassured her. Don't worry. I've already blocked their senses. It won't interfere with our conversation. Taking the chance, Li Sheng got close and climbed onto Guji's back. She quickly realized, this kid has been tailing me ever since I came down. If I'm not mistaken, he's the kid that Xiaoloon mentioned. He praised her cheerfully. You're really calm, big sister. Guji finally smirked, her lips barely moving. Let's hear it. What do you want from us? Li Sheng replied, amused. A straightforward big sister. So direct. That's what I like best. Come on out. At his call, Li Ya slowly peeked out. Her appearance left Guji stunned. A little girl. Without letting Guji wonder for long, Li Sheng made his offer. I'll turn her into an egg, and swap her with the one on your head. Though his words startled Guji, her expression didn't change. Li Sheng stated his condition. Just help me get her outside. The wall, he said seriously. I'll help you get by them. Guji made her decision instantly. Looks like opportunity is knocking. The scene shifts again to another location. Xiaoloon and Fan had decided to blend in with the crowd here. Black Egg asked curiously, Xiaoloon, what did Guji say? Why the sudden change of plans? Why are we infiltrating the high-quality egg team? He quickly explained. She's talking to the little dragon person right now. Li Sheng. We'll have to wait for her to contact us again for the specifics. But she told me to be careful of the zero next to us. Hearing this, it became even more confused. Xiaoloon wondered to himself. The little dragon person told her that the current zero is a copy. Black Egg was even more baffled. A copy? What the heck is that? Wait. So was he a copy from the start? Or was he replaced? Xiaoloon replied, I'm not sure what's going on either. But from the very beginning, we never really trusted him. It's just that the switch between Dong Nan and Zero didn't seem fake at all. Is that something a copy can do? It broke into a nervous sweat. Yeah. Could he have been replaced when he went to the school? To handle things early? Xiaoloon reassured it. Don't overthink it. We've come this far. All we can do is be cautious and play it by ear. Suddenly, Black Egg remembered. So, Xiaoloon, what about your sister? If we all go to the high-quality egg section, how are we going to save her? He quickly replied, the little dragon person said she holds a big secret, so she can't die. His people will sneak her outside the wall. The person we saw earlier was just a dragon person, disguised as her. It asked doubtfully, what if the little dragon person is lying? Xiaoloon was certain. I trust my gut, because when I touched her head back then, I felt something was off. Black Egg asked hesitantly, so where is your sister now? Xiaoloon replied, Guji only told me those two things, but my guess is she'll be taken outside. After all, an exit can only be created near the wall. It finally changed the subject. Itachi was assigned to be outside to investigate the exit situation. If your sister is taken out, he will definitely let us know. Right. What about Dai? Xiaoloon's group, along with Fan, was now being led into the elevator. He replied silently, his egg was stolen and eaten by the red-skinned people. After talking with Guji, we decided he'll go meet Itachi, and we'll figure it out from there. Suddenly, Black Egg asked repeatedly, Xiaoloon, there's something I don't get. You said the exit is man-made. So what happened to the original Life Egg exit? Xiaoloon had to explain. After the red-skinned people locked it from the outside, the gate seemed to malfunction and can't be opened anymore. It seemed to understand everything. So, the current method for creating an exit was taught to us by the egg people. He quickly confirmed, that's right. Finally, their elevator stopped on the 4th floor. The two of them were led to a large cage. They stood before the cage door with two other people. Xiaoloon guessed to himself, the 4 of us must be the last batch of high-quality eggs. Suddenly, the surroundings started moving. Are we going down? He immediately figured it out. Looks like these red-skinned people have lost their patience. It wasn't just them. Other cages were also being moved down below. A voice was heard. The feast officially begins. Will our distinguished guests please be seated? In the cage were Xiaoloon and Fan, along with 4 others. Next to them was the cage holding Guji's group. On the giant's dining table, many eggs were laid out, along with brains. They quickly sat down at the table. Siwu turned and asked, how many high-quality eggs did we get from this harvest? Another one replied, for some reason, many died along the way. Right now, there are only 25 left. Bai Lin smirked and chattered away. Well then, we can't enjoy as many high-quality eggs. Still, slicing and dividing them on the spot tastes fresher. Long A immediately chimed in cheerfully. Don't you all forget, we have the right to pick 2 to eat right here. That information stunned him and his brother. We get to pick 2 on the spot? Even she was no less astonished. They seemed to pay no mind and continued their gossip. If that's the case, who knows how many more will die. After entering the exit, by the time the final shipment reaches the king, there will only be a few left. He started speaking while putting food in his mouth. Who's to blame that the energy of the life eggs outside the wall is so potent? The guy asked excitedly. The egg person said the medicine has been improved, but who knows if it'll be effective. Suddenly, from out of nowhere, Li Sheng appeared right behind Long A. By then, we'll know the actual results, my lords. Immediately, he and the guy next to him were shocked. They turned their heads. Li Sheng, you always appear and disappear like a ghost. Where's your father? Father still has some business to attend to. He'll be here a bit later. So he told Li Sheng to come and serve you all. Hearing that, Long Eye fell silent and pursed his lips. Black Egg felt uneasy. It asked again, Xiaoloon, did they use the medicine before entering the exit? Xiaoloon replied firmly, the man-made exit must be synchronized with the wall's energy frequency. This requires using medicine to synchronize. Otherwise, you'll be torn to shreds by the energy. After hearing that, it felt a bit stunned. Over here, Bai Lin had started urging Long Hai. This time, it's your turn to choose. Hurry up and pick two, then let the kitchen handle them. He happily accepted. Look at your drooling mouth. All right, I'll go pick now. Black Egg stood there, terrified. Oh no. Xiaoloon, that guy is choosing. If he recognizes us, we're screwed. He quickly reassured it. Don't panic. We were in a combat state before, so he won't recognize us. Long Eye had already started to stand up. He walked step by step towards the iron cage. Arriving in front of the cages, Long Eye rested his chin on his hand, considering. Let's see. Generally, those with better physical strength will have tastier eggs. His eyes swept over each person. After some consideration, Long A seemed to have chosen what he liked. Which two should I choose? His gaze happened to stop on Xiaolun and Fan. At this, Long AI couldn't help but grin wider. Unexpectedly, Li Sheng appeared in the nick of time and cut in. It seems the master and the humble one have the same eye. I also fancy these two. His words happened to provoke the man. The same eye? This little brat, who has the same eye as a lowlife, like you? Thinking this, Long Eye cheerfully pretended and pointed in another direction. Li Sheng, you guessed wrong. The ones I had my eye on were the two on the sides. Thanks to that, the brother and he escaped disaster. Li Sheng suggested, these two? Then, let me help you take them to the kitchen. The man skillfully declined. No need. We want to get our hands dirty and taste the freshness ourselves. He didn't say any more. You really know how to eat. Xiaolun, who had been standing by, couldn't help but remark upon hearing the conversation. It seems this little dragon person can handle these guys. Some time passed. A long while later, Long Eye easily got the 2 eggs he wanted. Alright. The other 2 had their eggs taken, so now they were lying collapsed on the ground. He placed 1 egg on the table, the other one he prepared to open. Gentlemen, let's open one first to see how good my eye is. Long AI's finger quickly swiped across the egg. Suddenly, Mingju rushed out from nowhere to stop him. Stop! You can't open it. To the man's astonishment, he swung his hand, knocking the egg away. The egg flew in a straight line, and smashed hard against the wall. When it broke in two, a pile of black slime was revealed inside. This is an egg that the black wheel people have secretly put bacteria in. Mingju's words left the entire group stunned. The more Xiaolun listened, the more confused he got. Black wheel people? The other egg hit the wall, and oozed a pile of black slime. While everyone was focused on the egg, the person whose egg was taken earlier began to twitch his fingers. He glanced over, silently making a resolution. Before I die, I have to kill at least one of them. As for Long Eye, his face had turned completely dark. Seizing the opportunity, the man decided to launch a sneak attack. Die, you red-skinned bastards. But immediately after, he was pierced through by the man's wing. Mingju then slowly walked over. His gaze shifted towards the cages. Then, without a word, Mingju teleported. He stopped right in front of the cage holding Guji. This surprise made her panic. She tried to calm herself down. Calm down, calm down. Don't show any weakness. Mingju just stared intently into the cage. Although Guji was a bit scared, her face remained impassive. The little dragon person entrusted someone to me. He must be sure of it. She steadied her emotions once more. I must stay calm. I can't let any weakness show. At this moment, Li Sheng was slowly approaching. His tension was clearly visible. Li Sheng just stared at Mingju's back. Suddenly, he flicked his hand, shooting out a projectile. It flew straight towards the adjacent cage. Instantly, a carrier of the black wheel people was exposed. Mingju spoke slowly. The 2 eggs with latent bacteria have been eliminated. With that, he ran towards the other group and reported. My lords, this batch of high-quality eggs, I must transport them first. The trial where you will judge the woman. From before, I will not be attending. Long Eye was bewildered upon hearing this. Why the hurry? Judging that woman is the main event, Ming Qiu replied honestly, the king has issued a new secret order. I am simply following instructions. That information stunned the whole group. A secret order? He turned suspiciously to the other man and asked, Siwu, you and the king are the closest. Have you received any news? The man replied without hesitation. The king has not revealed anything to me. However, it seems the people who were searching for the core of the belt have returned alive. At this, Long AI seemed a bit dazed. Returned? Mingju didn't say more, excused himself, and gave an order. My lords, time waits for no one. I must get to work. Engineer eggs. Bring in the bronze mirror gate. His subordinate quickly replied, Yes, sir. The bronze mirror gate, under Mingju's command, was brought out. Long Eye froze when he saw it. Why are you using the bronze mirror gate? The high-quality eggs can't handle that much pressure. Li Sheng quickly stepped forward to smooth things over. Don't worry, my lord. This was specially made by my father. It's different from the gate you usually use to enter the world inside the egg. He smiled warmly. This gate does not harm the human body. You can use it with peace of mind. Although the man was still smiling on the outside, inside he was boiling with rage. Li Sheng ignored Long Eye and ran towards him. Father, if we're using the bronze mirror gate, does that mean the production and export location has been chosen? Mingju's voice was deep. He ordered his son to hurry. Help transport these high-quality eggs. He obeyed dutifully. Yes, sir. After that, Mingju turned to them and proposed. My lords, I have found a suitable place to create an exit near the wall. After you have finished your business, you can go directly through the bronze mirror gate to get to the location. That will save a lot of time. Siwu was pleased to hear that. As expected of Mingju, you are truly thoughtful. He quickly nodded in reply. Thank you, my lord. Soon, under Li Sheng's command, the caged people stepped into the bronze gate. Come on, hurry up. Xiaoloon secretly transmitted to him. Dai, have you reached the level of creating an exit yet? Over on the other side, he and you observed and replied, We're there. The engineer. Eggs are inserting a very strange object into the wall. He asked with some surprise. A strange object? Dai observed seriously, and described, a strange creature. It has scales and a body very similar to an insect. Over here, one of Mingju's subordinates was also holding an insect and examining it. Suddenly, the insect let out a cry as he stabbed it into the wall. It used the two horns on its head to ram straight into the wall. Immediately after, countless electrical sparks shot out from its horns, spreading everywhere. The two masked men were still bowing their heads, rummaging through a suitcase for something. Yu hid in a corner, watching secretly. Do they want to arrange them into a triangle? Dai stood beside him, frowning. That engineer egg keeps fumbling in the chest. Does the stuff inside look like mud? The contents of the suitcase were molded into a strange shape by him. It does look a bit like it. While staring at him, he transmitted a message to him. Dai, along the way, did you see any sign of my sister? He reported the earlier situation to you. Xiaoloon, although I didn't see your sister along the way, they could be hiding someone behind the bronze mirror. His eyes immediately turned to the giant bronze mirror in front of them. She must be hidden in there. From a corner, he quietly nodded in reply. Okay, I got it. The atmosphere suddenly became silent. From the bronze mirror, a pair of feet slowly appeared. Upon seeing the person who appeared, Li Sheng hurriedly ran over. Father, there are a total of 23 high-quality eggs. 7 red-skinned lords, plus you, father, makes a total of 31 people. His face was filled with joy. You want to combine them into 31 pills, right? He took something out from his clothes and gave it to Li Sheng. Combine a few more. He held out his hand to take it. It looked like a warhead. He stared at it and asked suspiciously, Are the extra ones meant for us? Mingju slightly raised an eyebrow and asked back, Li Sheng, didn't I tell you I would be back soon? You don't need to follow. His face showed no expression, but in his heart, he snorted coldly. Li Sheng clenched his fists, veins popping. You'll be back? You never intended to take us out. Seeing him silent, he spoke. Li Sheng. He was startled and replied, I know. We will wait obediently for your return. Mingju was secretly pleased and nodded slightly. Good, go. Li Sheng turned and walked away silently. We are just your experimental guinea pigs, he thought silently as he walked. Since we can't be replicated into true dragon people, to you, we have lost our value, haven't we? It doesn't matter if I get out or not. His gaze passed through the controlled crowd. But Li Ya, I want her to live a good life. Li Sheng walked up to the gate. The space was warping. His eyes were fixed on the empty space. Li Sheng slowly floated up into the air. He stretched his hand straight into the gate. As soon as he touched it, his hand was pulled in by a terrifying force. Li Sheng gritted his teeth, suppressing the pain. Seeing him like that, the others were confused. Something unexpected emerged from the gate. In a flash, an orange flower bloomed. Li Sheng took the warhead-shaped object from his person. He opened the cap decisively, pouring the liquid from the container onto the flower's pistil. From the pistil, 3 long stamens began to grow. Green fruits began to appear on the long stamens. Standing to one side, Yu and Dai couldn't hide their amazement. The fruit growing on the stamen is the medicine. He vaguely remembered something. There's something like this in the ghost ward. The higher-ups all worship it as a divine object. He looked over with suspicion in his eyes. A divine object? Yu nodded. They say this thing is a calamity, brought out from the central zone. Dai had a look of shock after hearing this. What? A calamity? A calamity like the honey egg? Wait a minute. Could this egg person be the surviving human who walked out of the forbidden zone 100 years ago? Standing to one side, Mingju stared without speaking. Looking at the pistil and the fruits growing on it, Li Sheng slowly lowered himself. Immediately, he turned to report. Father, the sound frequency has been corrected. He raised his finger in satisfaction. You've worked hard. On the long pistil, the green fruits began to glow. Just like that, they flew straight towards Mingju. It stared intently at its palm, counting a total of 33 pills. He silently observed and assessed. This thing really can't get past the little dragon person. You nodded and replied, Guji also said this medicinal fruit, if you want to get it, it's almost impossible. He frowned, silently calculating his next move. Now, all we can do is wait for the blood to quickly circulate throughout the body. Dai's eyes suddenly widened fiercely. He remembered lying on the ground, with Li Sheng standing beside him. You're Dai, right? Big sister Guji must have told you. Dai's eyes were shut tight, unmoving. Keep playing dead. You don't need to speak. Just listen to me. Holding the vial, he spoke as if to himself. The vial in my hand is my blood. You and your companions just need to mix it with your own blood. Pausing for a moment, Li Sheng looked at Dai's face. Wait for it to circulate throughout your entire body, and your skin color will become like mine. After that, I can help you get your eggs back and exchange them for edible eggs with everyone in Squad 5. Back to the present. He pressed his lips together tightly. Meanwhile, Yu's eyes widened in amazement. Dai, the color of your face has completely changed. Startled, he turned around, horrified. You too. Yu's eyes were pensive. How long have we been waiting? The blood has finally circulated throughout our bodies. Over here, Li Sheng walked over with his hands behind his back. Father, it absorbed a little too much of my blood. Is the quality of the medicine okay? Mingju nodded. It's fine. Dai sent a telepathic message. Now we just wait for the little dragon person to find a chance to help us. Blend in with Squad 5. Looking at Li Sheng's ingratiating smile, Yu's voice came out with a bit of hesitation. Before, in the Ghost District, there was a bounty that said, if you found a trace of the dragon people who went extinct 500 years ago, you could get 1,000,000 shells. At first, I thought it was just a fairy tale. Dai spoke up, his voice full of emotion. I never thought we'd actually see a living dragon person, right? Li Sheng's ears twitched in response. But after mixing with his blood, can we really get our eggs back? Yu was surprised by his words. We definitely can. I'll go outside and with my own hands kill that rotten red skin to avenge my mother. Yu asked with some concern, are you sure he's outside? Dai frowned, his voice firm when mentioning him. Xiaoloon said that guy already left. Yu looked at him curiously. What's his name? He shook his head. I don't know. Xiaoloon just described him as tall and big. After hearing that, Yu offered a theory. What if he's still inside the wall? Hearing that, Dai shook his head and replied firmly, impossible. I trust Xiaoloon. He wouldn't lie to me. Dai's eyes were fixed on Xiaoloon in the crowd. Mingju slowly walked forward. His hand gently touched the protective wall. Mingju's other hand began to channel power. Xiaoloon, standing in the crowd, frowned and thought, he's using a different method now to open the exit. The black egg seemed to sweat, puzzled. A different method? Xiaoloon thought for a moment, then suddenly remembered. I heard Guji say that the red skins use special gloves to activate it. Black egg was confused. Special? Seeing it didn't understand, Xiaoloon explained. Only the red skins can use it. But the little dragon person said those gloves are actually made of skin, taken from someone. Hearing that, Black Egg was shocked. It gaped. Skin from someone? That sounds gruesome. Outside, as the two of them were watching intently, Li Sheng appeared behind them. You two, now is the best time. I've come to help you get your eggs. They turned around, startled. Seeing his smiling face in front of them, the atmosphere suddenly became quiet. The eggs on the heads of the crowd lit up. The wall began to move. Ming Ju's power created a portal. Xiaoloon watched this scene with some doubt. Is this the exit? After he was done, Ming Ju turned around and looked. Everyone opened their mouths. Immediately after, Ming Ju snapped his fingers. The fruits from earlier shot out one by one. They shot straight towards them. Everyone opened their mouths. Not knowing his intention, Xiaoloon also opened his mouth. The fruit started to enter his mouth. As Xiaoloon chewed, he tasted it. An almond flavor. Instantly, 2 black eggs appeared on either side of Ming Ju. They took the shape of his face. Time to go in. Everyone, follow. Dongnam was the first to step in. Xiaoloon followed behind, his hand clenched. Xiaoloon, we're finally about to get outside. The wall. Xiaoloon heard the soft whisper and hummed in agreement. He quickly stepped into the portal. As soon as he stepped through, Xiaoloon looked around, observing. One by one, the crowd entered, following the black egg in front. A black egg, on his head, was also sweating. This is inside the wall? Xiaoloon. For the first time, I can't distinguish the boundary. Xiaoloon was skeptical. You can't distinguish it? Is this place that vast? Black egg pondered, then shook its head and explained. I don't understand either. This place is like a space, made of tiny dots of life. There are no borders. Catching on to Black Egg's words, Xiaoloon was confused. Tiny dots of life? And so, the two silently entered the vast space. Back outside, it was eerily quiet. From the mirror, Long Eye stepped out with a grim expression. He stared intently, then opened his mouth. All right, all the lords have arrived. Take your medicine and go in. He looked at the giant suitcase, his eyes full of questions. Ming Ju, what's with your luggage? He smiled and patted the suitcase. Just some of my research findings. Long AI raised an eyebrow, looking interested. Care to share a little? Ming Ju chose his words carefully to refuse without offending. Of course, my lord. It's just that time is of the essence. If we're late, could you explain the situation to the king? He was angry at being refused. But beside him, Rente placated him. He's just curious. The main business is important. Let's go in, my lords. Long Eye snorted coldly, then led his men inside. Carrying the suitcase, he didn't forget to turn back and remind Li Sheng. Li Sheng, be good and wait for my return. He nodded. Yes, father. Watching Ming Ju's back, Li Sheng's face fell. Li Ya, since I'm not here, you have to take good care of yourself. As they all stepped into the swirling portal, it slowly vanished from his sight. Suddenly, a strange object flew past Li Sheng's head. He frowned, his eyes following the object as it grew larger. Its shape was blurry, indistinct. Li Sheng's eyes widened and his mouth dropped open in shock. What is that? The scene cuts back inside the portal. They walked in a steady, rhythmic pace. Long Eye's men, following behind, were chatting. After this life egg resets, I wonder how many years it'll take to produce new life. True, but isn't the king trying to breed them? Colonists? But there haven't been any results yet. After a moment, they reached the final gate. Xiaoloon, we finally made it through the wall. Through this exit, we'll successfully get outside the wall. Xiaoloon sighed in relief and nodded. Yeah, that's great. Everyone can leave successfully. With that, he quickly stepped out. As soon as he stepped out, Ming Ju was in disbelief. Impossible. This is impossible. He looked around and shouted loudly, why isn't this outside the wall? He suddenly appeared in front of everyone. Welcome, everyone, to the central area of the iOS life creation system. Seeing their bewildered faces, Ming Ju laughed. Next, please enjoy the feast prepared for you. Long Eye's men rushed out of the portal. As soon as Long Eye came out, he yelled, what is this? Ming Ju stammered. We were forcibly led into the central domain. He was horrified. What? Ming Ju's third eye opened wide as he laughed softly. Like invaders from the outside, I invite you all to enjoy this grand feast of slaughter. He was startled, breaking into a cold sweat, and repeated. Long Eye regained his composure and sneered. What feast? You die first. As soon as he finished speaking, he spread his wings and charged forward to attack. Long Eye's attack was suddenly repelled. He stared, his mouth agape in shock. The attack was reflected. Rente came forward, a horrified look on his face, and pointed at Long Eye. Your wings are melting. Horrified, he looked back. His wings were gone. Long Eye clutched his body and screamed. Mingjiu watched his pained state with an amused smile. The pain threshold of you outsiders is truly slow on the uptake. Alright, your opponent isn't me, you know. His next words confused them. But so that everyone can understand their true situation, the feast will begin in 15 minutes. Xiaoloon, who had been standing still and observing, thought, 15 minutes? Pausing for a moment, Mingjiu gave a dangerous smile. Of course, this feast isn't just here. It officially begins throughout the entire life creation system. Both he and it were stunned to hear this. They want to kill every living creature in the Nuan Shengming. Seeing they weren't moving, he shouted, "Don't just stand there. Make good use of these 15 minutes. Running is fine, hiding is fine, do as you please." He supported Long Eye's body and said, "Mingjiu, the entrance and exit can probably be recreated, right?" It slowly turned, its expression profound. "You, in front of the monster of the central domain, do you think that's possible?" Mingjiu's words left the two speechless. Hearing it say that, he smiled with satisfaction. "Mingjiu, this time, when it comes to thinking, you seem to have gotten smarter." They stared. "What? Mingjiu? You know him?" It didn't speak, just lowered its head in silence. He was losing patience and cut them off. "Alright, I won't waste any more of your time. Make use of these 15 minutes. I will be watching this grand feast. See you later." After speaking, Mingjiu vanished, not forgetting to leave a reminder. "No, that's not right. You have to be alive to meet again, right?" He completely disappeared, only his echoing laughter remaining. His body trembled as he gritted his teeth and cursed. "Damn it. How did things turn out like this?" Long Eye panicked. "Mingjiu, what on earth is going on? Have you been to the central region before?" It didn't answer the question, only leaving the words, "Look after yourselves, my lords." In a fit of anger, he clenched his fist and growled, "You, what did you say?" Rente looked around. "Ignore him. Don't we have the gloves? Let's make an exit ourselves." Hearing that, Long Eye turned and left. "Right, let's go." Mingjiu stood still, unmoving. His men quickly turned and ran back. They ignored the fleeing crowd. You, who had turned into an egg, spoke up. "Dai, you must have seen the red skin who killed your mother, right?" He stared in disbelief. "What? Zero. What are you talking about?" He offered his theory. "Xiaoloon lied to you. That redskin's name is Long Eye. He's one of the 7 redskins." But Dai still didn't believe him. "Don't try to drive a wedge between us. You're the fake Dong Nam. The copy, right?" Hearing that, you just laughed mockingly. "No wonder there's been a strange sense of distance on this path, but it seems you're mistaken." He revealed what he had been hiding for so long. "I am merely a parasite in the copy's head. I am still Zero." He frowned, his mouth agape, and asked back, "What? You mean Dong Nam is the copy?" You nodded. He had noticed it before. "That's right. I've always been investigating the matter of the copies, also with the purpose of implanting my parasitic brain. As long as he was related to the copies, I thought of every way to use him or..." Over on Mingju's side, he ran as fast as the wind, sticking close to it, not leaving. "Cooperate." The black egg on his head suddenly turned black. It cried out in panic, but no one answered. "Xiaoloon, what do I do? I can't move. Are we trapped? Xiaoloon, answer me. Xiaoloon." Xiaoloon stood frozen, unresponsive. The controlled crowd also stood motionless. The egg on his head began to glow. Immediately after, Dai transformed back to his original form. You, seeing him rush off, spoke up. "Dai, what's the rush? That person hasn't gone far." Dai didn't care, ignoring him. "I have to ask Xiaoloon what's really going on. Did he lie to me?" Seeing this, you also transformed back and wondered, "Lie to you?" He didn't listen anymore and rushed into the portal. As soon as he stepped out, he saw Guji approaching Xiaoloon. "What's wrong with you?" Seeing the two, it happily recounted. "Dai, Guji, Xiaoloon isn't responding anymore." He asked, "What on earth happened?" Black Egg began to recount what had just happened. Xiaoloon wanted to take advantage of the egg person's clone, to snatch his sister's container. Who knew that before he even touched it, he'd end up like this? He's completely unresponsive now. After hearing this, her expression changed drastically. "We shouldn't just stand here and discuss this. Let's get out of here first." With that, Dai went over, scooped him up, and ran. Inside the portal, he looked ahead. His eyes suddenly regained their spirit, glancing around. Immediately, Yan hurriedly ran off. He quickly reached the portal and stepped through without hesitation. Yan looked around blankly. A figure. The ecosystem here is changing every hour, every moment. It's completely different from when we first arrived. It tilted its head, asking uncertainly, "Are you sure?" He replied, "Taolu, can you pinpoint the location? It began to explain to Yan. As long as young Master Long Ming's body still exists, I can distinguish it. Hearing that, he understood somewhat and nodded. Okay, we have to find Long Ming's body quickly, find our inner selves, and leave this Nuan Sheng Ming, and return to our world. Tao Lu immediately scanned the surroundings and quickly moved. Yan, this way, he nodded and followed. Yeah, the scene changed, revealing a gloomy forest. Xiaoloon's group hid in a hollow tree. Dai examined Xiaoloon's body and frowned. Strange. The thing on the outside has already dissolved. Why is Xiaoloon still so lifeless? Black Egg mumbled loud enough for everyone to hear. I'm clearly fine. Why is Xiaoloon still like this? Suddenly, she came forward and grabbed his wrist. He watched this action with suspicion. Guji, what are you doing? She didn't say a word, and made a cut on Xiaoloon's hand. Blood flowed out, but he didn't cry out. He couldn't even feel the pain. Angrily, Dai slapped Guji's hand away. He clenched his fist and scolded her. You damn woman, you hurt him again. Guji paid no mind and just turned to say, the situation is urgent right now. I'm afraid he might not even have his life left. Hearing this, Dai felt no remorse, and instead shouted loudly, even so, you can't hurt him. You, sitting in a corner on guard duty, turned to look at him. Dai, now is not the time to lose your temper. He gritted his teeth and cut her off. You're afraid he'll become a burden, aren't you? Fine, I'll take him. If you want to go, then go. She frowned. What burden? I don't think so. Seeing the two still wouldn't quiet down, he shouted, enough. Is this the time to argue? Guji stood up straight. She looked him in the eye. Dai, let me be clear. If my life is threatened, I will only look out for myself. He frowned and just snorted coldly. Suddenly, Yu's face grew worried as he warned. There's movement outside. Don't make a sound. All three tensed up and looked into the distance. In the distance, they heard the clanking of iron chains, and within everyone's line of sight, a dark egg appeared, pulling a video chest. And that's the end of it. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button to support me. Thanks for watching, and goodbye everyone.